out of Oakwood, Illinois. It's Bobby Pierce with his first series win of the year.
The name of Dylan Scott's tour is Easy Does It, and it rolls on this coming weekend in Nashville, Tennessee. The country music star who continues to grow and grow and grow in popularity provides the anthem of FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota with This Town's Been Too Good to Us. Scan that QR code on your screen for concert tickets and so much more. Dylan, for the first time this year, will join us later tonight. I am Michael Rigsby, coming to you from the infield at Eldora Speedway as we kick off Dream Week at the Big E with FloRacing Night in America, round number 5 of our midweek Dirt Late Model Series. As for the second year in a row, we attach ourselves to a crown jewel event at Eldora. Last year it was the World 100. This year we get to roll ahead of Dream 31. Sitting to my left is my good friend and a guy that might be the most popular person at all of Eldora Speedway. I'm telling you, you can't go in a golf cart with this guy. You can't walk anywhere without this guy getting stopped and prodded by onlookers who love Randy Weaver. Randy, thank you so much for joining us. Randy, you and I go to a million dirt tracks a year. We go to a million races a year. And I know it sounds like such a cliche, but there is simply nothing like, and I know for the first time in a long time, you're camping this year, so you're really getting the Eldora experience. There's just nothing like it, is there? You crest that hill on Highway 118, there's nothing like Eldora still.
No, nothing even close. You know, we come in last night with the RV and just so many campers already here, and I kind of thought I was early. And, you know, just when you come across the track, there's never a feeling like it, and it just gets bigger and bigger every year and as the weekend goes on.
Randy, the Thanksgiving dinner of this weekend is the Dream, right? Dream 31, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but I think we've set up a hell of an appetizer for the audience at home and for the folks that are here. We'll get into the car count in a little bit, but we're approaching mid-80s. It's a one-night Dirt Late Model show, $20,000 to win tonight, mid-80s on car count. This is better than onion rings or buffalo wings for an appetizer, right? This is almost a full meal itself tonight that we're getting.
Yeah, we're getting a wide variety of racers from all over the country, but we're at the biggest stage they are, and it puts on really good racing, and people knows how important it is to win here, regardless what it is, and they want to get lap time and get ready for the Dream weekend, and it's really good. That's
the thing, right, is that it may be FloRacing Night in America. It's not the Dream and World. It still matters, right, because it's Eldora. We have a busy night. 83 cars, which is a FloRacing Night in America presented by Kubota record. More cars than we have ever had in our series history, and we're going to rip through it as fast as we can tonight. Hot laps and qualifying, followed by 6 10-lap heat races, 2 12-lap B mains. We've added 2 starting spots to the field tonight because of the big car count also, and a 50-lap, $20,000 A main winner tonight. So it's going to be one of those busy nights. Randy, I think it'd be easier to say who's not here than who is here as far as the car count goes. And everybody, like I said, mid-80s. Let's take a look at some of the drivers that have unloaded on this Wednesday night at Eldora, because it is the absolute who's who of our sport. Brandon Shepard, Chris Simpson, Nick Hoffman, Tanner English. How about that Bobby Pierce rap, Randy? You said you remembered racing his dad against his dad.
Well, I remember seeing it for sure, and it's awesome that he does a throwback like that. But some really, really hard hitters, basically what we're going to see all weekend.
Yeah, Bronson, Madden, and Alberson wraps up that first screen. There's many more screens as well. RTJ, Dennis Erb Jr., Mason Ziegler, T-Mac, Tim McCready picking up steam here on the Outlaw circuit in the last couple of weeks. Ricky Weiss, a former World 100 winner. Randy, people forget that. Ricky can still get around this place.
Yeah, he can, and they work right there out of Crossville, and they've gained a lot here in the last couple months and won some big races, so I'm sure he's looking forward to it.
I saw Shane Clanton earlier, and Shane said, as we get to this last screen, Shane said, don't forget me. I've won a lot of big races here. He's a Dream and a World winner. I said, Shane will never forget you. Devin Moran, Tyler Erb, Ethan Dotson, that kid's getting faster and faster. Dalton Wilson, Tyler Bruning, Randy, who started the season out, he's had a nice run. Josh Rice and Dale McDowell. Could there be more two opposite guys than Josh Rice and Dale McDowell when we put them next to each other on the graphic?
No, not even close. But as we've seen, Rice just won a race, and it wasn't top dominant. So he's getting more experience. He can do a little bit of both sides of it, and he'll be one to watch also tonight.
I interviewed Josh earlier, and he reminded me of that. I know you think I only ripped the cushion, Rigsby. I won that race on the bottom. So I said, Josh, I saw it. FloRacing Night. FloRacing Night in America is off to a hell of a start, right? 4 races have been scheduled. 4 races have been completed under incredible weather. Our point standings come into race number 5 looks like this. Bobby Pierce, who led the entire way last year till Ricky Thornton stole it at the end. How about the 3S of Brian Shirley there in second? Randy, the Squirrels had a nice season too. What do you see when you look at our top 10 here?
Well, definitely the Squirrel Shirley there. He's picked up the pace, and he's finally got his cars where he wants him, and he's had some good runs going here before, and just mechanical issues have bit him. So it kind of surprised me to see Gustin and Shepard that far down, but that just shows how tough it is to come in and race against the best in the country on any kind of point system.
Yeah, and when you take a look at this as well, Brian Shirley, people forget it wasn't all that long ago. He was on fire at Need More Speedway earlier this year, right? This late model season has a tendency to get monotonous, but it's been a hell of a season for Brian since then, as he's second in our points. And when we get tonight done, we've only got 5 races left. It's awfully nice. We didn't get race 5 until September last year. It will begin in June this year. We take the rest of June off. We pick up before the Prairie Dirt Classic at Fairbury Speedway on July 23rd, my home track where I grew up and cut my teeth, followed by that Scott Bloomquist Memorial. Yep. Very cool that Ray Cook is promoting at Vic Hills Volunteer Speedway. Randy, I'm so excited about Tri-State. Haubstadt, Indiana there late September, and we finish off at Sonoy Raceway. Did you ever run Tri-State? Not exactly Randy Weaver's cup of tea.
No. I've been by there, and actually we was planning on running a race there, and it got rained out, but we still went and checked it out, and I can see why there's so much history there. That's a neat-looking place.
Yeah, the Helfrich family does an amazing job. Can you see your camper here on this, by the way?
My camper's so little, you could put it behind that little tree there.
Something tells me that's not true. It's the Prevost out there is what I'm thinking. We've got a full hour-long pre-race show for you tonight. So much more. Dylan Scott will be with us. We'll get Todd Turner's take on this year's Dirt Late Model Dream with all his graphics that he cooked up. You're watching FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota, live from Eldora Speedway. Back after this quick set of commercial breaks.
I love the sound of someone getting their money's worth. I mean, where else are you going to get ahs like that for 89 cents? Only in Casey's country. It's not crazy. It's Casey's. For a limited time, get medium fountain drinks for just 89 cents.
We're the leader in race fuels. We've been doing this since in the 60s.
We use our distillation tower, which is unique. No other race fuel companies do that in the world. We also test every single batch that goes out the door on over 15 different parameters that ensure the tune-up will be identical.
That consistency in the marketplace that makes us a premium brand.
Make the same stuff every time. We're pretty darn close to perfect.
MD3, the most advanced body panels on the market. Aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. MD3, the #1 body choice for top dirt racers.
Get ready for an amazing summer tradition. Country Concert 25, Fort Loramie, Ohio. July 10th, 11th, and 12th. With Blake Shelton, Brad Paisley, you gotta get a little mud on the tire, Parker McCollum, John Party, Brantley Gilbert, Co Wetzel, 40 artists, 4 stages, deluxe camping, coolers welcome. Get tickets now at countryconcert.com.
The Rocket Ship launches tonight at Barber City and wins the 13th edition of the Illini 100.
And his name in the history book. New Waverly, Texas, Tyler Erb is a Little Bill Corum Memorial winner. Option number 4, the final time, and it is Greg Sayers, their second night in a row. The Hawkeye Land 40 goes to Brandon Jeffers.
Wasn't quite there, but does he have enough? He did have a peak early. He's looking again. Down the inside, Freddie Smith. He's going to get by, and so is Felker. Freddie Smith gets by, and so does Felker. Bloomquist having a little bit of a handling problem. That car's going sideways. He gathers it back in. Lanigan now running third. Coming to the checkered flag, Freddie Smith.
You know, it's a real good thought there, but,
It's
you
all
know,
right, it's all right.
I know he hates it for himself, and I really enjoyed his tire going down, for $100,000.
June 4th, 1994. That night, the inaugural Dirt Late Model Dream was held. 99 cars on the nose showed up to compete that year in the great Freddie Smith and that famous Bazooka Base Tubes 00, which for my money is still one of the greatest looking dirt late models of all time. Fast Freddie picked up $100,000, and 31 years later, we are still doing it. Back at Eldora Speedway in the Infield Media Center, Michael Rigsby and Randy Weaver. Randy, when I knew we had that clip, you're a Southern guy. I wanted to ask you, what was your relationship like with Freddie, and how much did you interact with him and know him?
Well, later on there, he started driving for Christianberry, and that was right there in Knoxville. And I got to see him a lot, race against him a lot, and there was never a nickname any better than that. I mean, he was a gentleman. He always treated me like I was somebody, and which was a shocker to me. And at one time, believe it or not, I just had signed a deal to drive for Calvin Cheek.
The 23 car,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. And they come and talked to me because Freddie was going to step away a little bit for something, and they was wanting me to drive the Christianberry car, and it just didn't work out. I'd already signed, and but super nice. And anytime you had a question, he took time to answer it, not just something quick and blow you off. And man, I really enjoyed being around him. I just wasn't around him early on when he was really dominating.
Yeah, and Ashton Winger, of course, in that Freddie Smith, Christianberry Farms throwback. At some point, we'll get a shot of that here during the pre-race show. It looks awesome. It's an awesome-looking wrap. Freddie won the second Dream of his career in that. I think back to that first Dirt Late Model Dream, and it's hard not to be romantic about Dirt Late Model racing. I wanted to take a look at the full rundown from 1994, and the great Hall of Famer Todd Turner cooked this up for us. Here are the results all the way, 1 through 24, of the first ever Dirt Late Model Dream. A lot of people forget this. Denny Felker from Joplin, Missouri got second, easily the best run of Denny's career. Then a couple of familiar names there, Randy, Darrell Lanigan and Scott Bloomquist. But a guy like Pete Parker, Jesse Legg, Chris Patterson, Randy Woodling, John Lawhorn. There was maybe a few more regional guys in the field back in 94.
Yeah, definitely was. And I remember coming and watching those shows and just hoping one day to be up here, but it was amazing. It seemed like when everybody came here, like we talked earlier, they just stepped their game up and made some of the biggest memories probably of their racing career.
But look at the names on that list, right? Lanigan and Bloomquist and Boggs. I mean, those are, when you think about like when Dirt Late Model Racing found its footing, it was with those guys. I always say that golden era to me, and I'm a little younger, so people may disagree, but that mid-'80s all the way through 2000, 2001, when Moyer, Bloomquist, Freddie, Boggs were at their peak, right? Yes. That feels like the most golden era to me.
Yeah, right, it definitely does to me, and I'm a little older, but I still remember watching those guys and just, dreaming one day to get a race with them or go to some of the bigger shows they went to, and it was the people that you idolized, because they was doing what you dreamed about, and they was doing it very well.
And soon it'll be, people will say, look back, it was Davenport and Bobby, and they'll say that was the golden era. The voices of FloRacing Night in America are Ben Shelton and Dustin Jarrett, and they are high atop the world's most famous half mile. Guys, I want to know which one of you keeps ordering up the weather. After years of battling weather, we're going 5 for 5 tonight. I think it's DJ, Ben. I think it's him that's cooking this up, guys.
Yeah, I think I ordered all the weather last year. Mother Nature laughed at me, and we saw what she gave me. DJ, again, 5 for 5. And we've had 4 outstanding weather days leading into today. We were nervous about today. Mother Nature's a race fan today, and, man, we're rewarded with a great field of cars. An overcast, windy afternoon. I'll take that over a wet afternoon any day of the week.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And yes, first off, Rigsby, you're right. I ordered it up only because I'm looking after my BFF, because I got to spend so much time with him on the road. I got to talk him off ledges every once in a while. But yeah, 83 cars signed in here tonight, the highest car count we've ever had for a FloRacing Night in America presented by Kubota Show. And I think you said it best earlier when you and I were going around talking to some of the drivers and getting some of our notes. It's really kind of like a paid test session for these guys coming into the Dream.
Yeah, it is. I mean, look, they have done an amazing job, Levi Jones Jones and Tony Stewart and the gang the next couple of days. These prelim nights where the field is split in half. These are huge payouts. Tonight is not what you're going to see on Thursday or Friday, but it's still $20,000 to win. It's $1,000 to start. It's over $70,000 up for grabs tonight. It's a good payout. And if you go out there and you qualify and you don't like something about the car and you want to scratch from the night, then you scratch from it. It's not a big deal. But, as we look into tonight, the parity on the year, and you heard Randy talking about looking at the guys and the points. You had a great point on the video cast this week. Half of our top 10 from FloRacing Night in America presented by Kubota from the Outlaws. The other half from Lucas Oil. This is a very diverse field, and it's no big surprise. Through 4 events, we've had 4 different winners, and there's a really good chance after tonight we could have 5 different winners in 5 events this year.
Yeah, no, we absolutely could. And by the way, we have had, this will be our 4th race at Eldora Speedway that we've had. We've had 3 different winners in this event here at Eldora. Kyle Larson won the inaugural race on that rough and tumble April event that we had here a few years back. Mike Marlar picked up the win 2 years ago, and then Jonathan Davenport was the winner last year in an event that rained out that we had to run during the World 100.
Yeah, and that drone shot right there, if nothing in the world says build it and they will come like Eldora Speedway. You see farm fields for miles, and this track was built, it opened in 1954, half-mile, high-bank clay oval, and even though maybe the walls have been very similar over the past several years, the configurations have changed, the shaping has changed. And
the banking.
The banking, they've thrown some things at it this weekend that are going to be interesting. And meanwhile, something that you love to do that I'm awful at, but is a whole lot of fun, dirt draft. Have you got your lineup in yet tonight?
Oh, I have not, actually. No, I'm hoping. I sent Tiffany a nope, that's not the picture I sent her. Nope, that is not. That's not the one. There's a lot of pressure on me coming, kind of like Bobby Pierce. Bobby Pierce won the World 100 last year. There's a lot of pressure on him. I also won the World 100 last year.
To be clear, are you comparing your globe to Bobby Pierce's globe?
Let's just say
he's won 2 of them.
Some folks are saying, some people in inner circles are saying that there's some similarities between our abilities here at Eldora, right?
That's not the globe this weekend. That's the dream.
It is the dream. It is the dream. So I'm going after a dream trophy. You can as well. There is a contest that will run all week long. Tonight's a separate contest because it's FloRacing Night in America presented by Kubota. But jump in, play Dirt Draft, new T-shirt. If you are a free T-shirt if you're a new subscriber, and we joke about it, but it is a lot of fun.
Well, we're having a lot of fun up here. Meanwhile, back down in the Kevin Kovac Memorial Media Center, Michael Rigsby and Randy Weaver, they're digging up a lot of fun. We're going to throw it back to those guys.
Yeah, and to be clear, DJ has showed almost everyone that he's seeing today his photo of the Dirt Draft World 100 globe. I actually think he thinks he's Billy Moyer in his mind at this Dirt Draft, Randy. He's been showing everyone this World 100 Dirt Draft win.
Well, I always say it's his story. Let him tell it the way he wants to. But,
I'm kind of getting tired of him telling it, if I'm being honest.
Every once in a while, somebody will win something, and they got to brag on it. So
we're going to let him.
I'm with him.
But he gets, when this weekend's over, unless he wins again, he's done. So, Randy, it's June, which means we're about halfway through the racing season, believe it or not, and there are no shortage of racing headlines. Let's take a look now at our industry headlines this week. First up, how about this one? I call this the Pierce pace, Randy. Bobby Pierce has 16 wins right now. His 16th win of 38 last year came on July 6th. So he's a full month ahead. He's also already earned $500,000. Last year was $1.2 million. There's really no slowing the Pierce rocket ship down at this point, is there?
Oh, and it's unbelievable. And if you actually look at it, it's been for the last 3 years pretty steady. And just a couple little things knocked him out of the #1 driver of the year at certain times. But if you go back and look at stats, they don't lie. He's been tough for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, he comes into this having won the world and the dirt track. I asked him earlier, are you supplanting JD as Eldora? Whoa. He said, let's calm down about that. Secondly, Mansfield is back. Of course, the former asphalt track turned dirt track by Cody Summer. Cody stepped away from the promotion there. Now, former NASCAR racer turned dirt late model driver Matt Tifft is bringing the Mansfield Oval back. Inaugurally will be dirt. He said maybe one day will be pavement, but Mansfield is back. It's a gorgeous facility. A lot of work to do, don't get me wrong. Good to have another dirt track, Randy.
Yeah, it is.
back.
And I remember when it was a dirt track and they had the big shows there, and I seen the little clip that Tiff put on there. There is a lot of work to do, but man, what a facility.
Yeah, and it's pavement days. I believe ran Craftsman truck races back in the day, and that Mansfield area is really cool. The Shawshank Redemption prison is right there. There's a lot of stuff to do there, so we wish Matt good luck there. And finally, Drake Troutman. This past weekend, in our partnership with Race and Dirt, we streamed the Modified World Championship at Tyrone and Bob's amazing Mississippi Mississippi Thunder Speedway up there. Drake Troutman won $100,000 in a modified this past weekend just after his 20th birthday. The Pennsylvania World of Outlaw regular scored his first six-figure win, obviously. Pretty cool to see these late model guys. Of course, he runs a Model lot too, but stepping out, Randy, cross disciplines, going back and forth is kind of fun.
Yeah, it really is, and it's cool to see them come over, and about time you label them as a late model guy, they go back and win a big race like that in a mod. So it's really cool not to forget where you come from, and he's really a good racer and won a lot of mod races before, so that wasn't a surprising thing for me.
Yeah, Mississippi Thunder, I'm sure you've probably seen some video. Again, I can't say enough about Bob Tim and Tyrone Lingenfelter. That place is prepped phenomenally every time. It's in a gorgeous area right up on the Mississippi River. If you ever get a chance, and it's always 70 degrees there. It's never hot.
I love it already.
Yeah. For a guy from Crossville, Tennessee, right? You do love that. We're going to step away and take another commercial break. Dylan Scott will join us shortly as FloRacing Night in America rolls on from Eldora. We'll be back quick.
Introducing the My Kubota app. With My Kubota, connecting with your local dealer is easier than ever. Find them with just a tap and contact them quickly for any assistance you need. Access comprehensive resources like how-to guides, owner's manuals, fault codes, maintenance schedules, and more. Everything you need to keep your Kubota running smoothly. Download the app today.
Hunt Brothers Pizza is proud to be the official pizza of Eldora Speedway. Fuel up with a hunk of pizza or a large 12-inch pizza loaded with all toppings, no extra charge. Pick original or thin crust, then add on any combo of our 10 delicious toppings. That's 1,024 ways to make it just the way you like. Head to the concession stands to get yours today. Want more? Download the Hunt Brothers Pizza app to find one of our 10,000 locations in convenience stores near you. Hunt Brothers Pizza, fuel for race day.
Hosky's Performance Parts has been serving the Ohio River Valley and racers from all across the country since 1978.
Hosky's is also the home to Hoosier Tire Ohio Valley and Octane Race Products. We keep the popular name brands in stock and ship nationwide daily,
including Winner's Performance, Willwood Brakes, Bill Stein Shocks, Impact Safety Equipment, along with hundreds of others.
Visit us in Parkersburg, West Virginia, or online at Posky.com.
Coming off turn number 4, the 30th annual Dirt Late Model Dream is going to be Superman Jonathan Davenport.
I have terrible vision. I got hooked up with Death Ridge, and being able to see when you're racing is pretty important. Glare is somewhat of a big deal, and with these, there's really no glare at all. They just fit really well. They don't go over your ear, they just go straight around your head. Full believer in them. I feel like they help a lot compared to what I'm used to. I have nothing but good to say about them.
Tired of lugging around big bottles of liquid bleach? Now there's an easier way to whiten your laundry and freshen your home. Introducing Evolve Concentrated Bleach Tablets. Evolve makes bleaching easier than ever. Avoid the hassles of liquid bleach with a better, more versatile way of keeping your home fresh and clean. Evolving new concepts for cleaning. No spills, no splash, no mess. Choose Evolve Concentrated Bleach Tablets for all your bleaching needs.
One more time around. Here comes Jonathan Davenport. On the crossover into one. And Owens, he'll go on the inside. No, are you kidding? No. He'll have one more shot in turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag in the air. Davenport drives it high. It's not going to be enough. Scott Bloomquist wins his 7th Dirt Late Model Dream. There's no green. 25 pounds light. He's 25 pounds light at the scales. And that means the winner of the Dirt Late Model Dream is Jonathan Davenport.
Hard to believe it's been 10 years since one of the most iconic moments in Dirt Late Model history. There's no green light. Scott Bloomquist wins the dream, but he's light at the scales. Jonathan Davenport gets the win. Obviously, Randy, Eldora will never quite be the same without Scott Bloomquist, but what people kind of forget about that night is Jonathan Davenport's Hall of Fame career that he's already established was kind of launched that summer in 2015. He's crammed all this winning into a 10-year stretch, basically. His career took a leap into the stratosphere with There's No Green Light that night.
Yeah, it really did. He was having one of the most unbelievable years anyway, and then that right there just gave another shot in the arm and really got his momentum going. And you know, he might have slowed down out on the tour just a little bit, but it sure hadn't slowed down here at the Big E. So he's definitely the man to watch.
Yeah, without question. You know, one of the great things about Eldora to me always has been the geographical nature of it. You're a Tennessee guy. I grew up in Illinois. You always like to see how your guys from different areas of the country would compete against each other. Todd Turner worked this graphic up for us also. I wanted to take a look at every Dream starter ever and what state they're from, right? So Illinois with the most at 89 starters. Georgia second most at 77. Kentucky third, you see on so on and so forth. But how about what's most interesting, Randy, is Illinois with 89 starts, only 2 wins. Georgia's making all that hay with Jonathan Davenport and Brandon Overton. You're a guy that can appreciate history and geography. When you see this list, Randy, what do you think?
Well, it's just amazing how many states have had such good race car drivers. And then it's also amazing on the other side, some of the states that has really good race car drivers that came up here and just couldn't ever have any success. So it just shows how tough Eldora is. And then some of the guys that figure it out, they take advantage of it.
There's an Illinois curse for a long time at this place. 89 times they've started this race, only twice they've won it. Dale McDowell, by the way, 22 Dream starts, 17 in a row, matching his car number. He's made 17 dirt late model Dreams in a row. Does the I hate to say old guy, I don't want to say old guy, does the older guy still got a little magic left in him, Randy?
Yes, he does, especially here, and they've had a good year this year and got their program good, so I definitely wouldn't count him out.
One last note on this page right here, 40 starts between Bloomquist and Owens. 40 of the 66 Dream starts. Randy, you're from Tennessee. You could have helped them boost the list here a little bit. They have 40 of the 66.
I wish I could have, but, you know, that's amazing. And, you know, for a long time, it shows it goes in eras, but Scott dominated, Jimmy got rolling, other people gets their program figured out, and then up here you come and see exactly where you're at.
One of the great things about live television is we will have Dylan Scott. He will join us, the budding country music superstar. He's running a little bit late, so instead we replaced him with a guy who I'm hoping can sing also. I don't know if he can or not, but Levi Jones, of course, the current promoter at Eldora Speedway, who's done an amazing job since he's taken over. Levi, I think first Dream officially, right? Were you here last year for the Dream?
No, it's my first one.
I thought so. So
yeah.
give me your early returns.
Yeah,
How you feeling?
I love it, right? To be here at the end of last year, you know, run through the world, and then the DTWC at the end of the year, talking about those graphics. I got to catch those races. Yeah. And you talked about it, Eldora. You kind of get rolling as a driver in your team and figure things out and bring stuff back and build your notebook and get better here.
Yeah, you obviously raced many times here, right? And I always love to ask people from different disciplines, whether they're a late model or a sprint car or a modified, what is it like to rip a lap at this place? I've heard Randy talk. I want to hear Levi Jones talk about it.
It's incredible here, right? I mean, anybody that's raced at many places and you come here, it's just different, right? The feeling when you walk into the place, when you roll into the pits and you look at it, everybody's pitted down here. It's so cool. And then you roll out on the track, and you just have to remember, you're racing the track. Yeah. You get to racing another car, another guy, you're just losing ground to the guy in front of you. So you have to race the track, put yourself in the right position, keep your car rolling.
Levi, Randy was dabbling, maybe thinking about becoming a promoter at some point here in the next couple of years. Do you have any early advice for him in the promotional game?
Just jump in. Everybody will tell you what you need to do, right?
Yeah. Like pulling in Eldora and just roll out there and qualify a lap.
Yeah. No, incredible. To be here at Eldora, you know, a small full-time staff of people that are very passionate about Eldora and will do anything to make it the best experience for racers and fans and people all around. So great situation. People love Eldora, and that helps make it go around.
How's it been living in Western Ohio? Obviously, it's sleepy, but it's one of my favorite areas of the country. Randy actually grew up just across the border in Indiana. People always forget that, right?
I love it.
Yeah, and Randy, I think you loved growing up kind of up in this area too.
I grew up I was born in Muncie, and so we was always at Winchester and those type racetracks. And my dad brought me over here when I was 11 years old, and after that I was hooked, and it's not that far. So the bad part was he moved me to Tennessee, so it made it a little further drive. But it's definitely a great area to grow up in.
Randy, I want you to grill him. I'm always texting Levi, asking him all these. Put him on the spot about the racetrack. Levi, what are we doing this weekend? What's the water regimen? Hammer him, Randy, for me.
With the weather forecast we have,
Right.
how aggressive have you got with the weather or the track prep?
You look at the weather, right? Everybody has the weather app. We see what we could get. Fortunate to have our association with BAM Weather and work with the meteorologist there, and then having JB, a farmer, right? So get his dad's input too, looking at it. But we have to be prepared to race, right? It's not raining today. It didn't rain yesterday. We're racing tonight, so we want the best possible situation. Working with Rob Plattfoot here at Eldora, I actually got to make some laps at speed in the push truck,
How'd
right?
you do?
So I was the fastest one out there.
You should be.
So
I mean-
so just when you're talking about Eldora, it's different in so many places, right? It's big and it's banked and, over the crossover and stuff like that. So just to work closely with the team here on what we need to do, what it feels like, what it looks like. Because when you roll around there at an idle or slow speed, you can feel the elevation changes where it needs to be. And then, coming in here with late models, heavy, big cars, hard on the right front, from the middle of the back stretch to landing into 3, rolling on, down the front stretch where you land into 1. We got to make sure it doesn't come apart. But we're not a pavement track either.
What do you think the thing that surprised you most about this gig so far is? What is the one thing, and obviously I'm involved in Fairbury Speedway. Matt Curl carries me all day, every day. Let me be clear. Matt is the brains of the operation. But there's things that jump out and surprise you, right? What's the one, Levi, where you thought, I didn't expect this at Eldora?
Right. So, I had a pretty good idea of Eldora and what goes on, how it works. But, one thing is the camping here, right? Like, people were here a week ago. Like, where do they work? I need to work there, maybe, right? Like, so, but they love it, man. They're in here, they're parked, they get their spot set up, their Eldora flags up, their American flag. They just, they want to be here, and why not? It's great.
That's great.
You've heard Randy obviously he's become a phenom, right? He can't go through the campground without people stopping him, wanting his autograph, taking photos. Levi, you've done a little commentating work in your day. Randy, he's doing pretty good here for us, isn't he? I know he's a late model guy, but it feels like he's done a nice job.
Yeah, building your brand, right?
Yeah,
Do you have a merch trailer yet?
No.
Good, because we don't have room to park it.
I couldn't put it up there anyway, right? But no, one thing I thought was pretty neat, I told somebody the other day, used to, especially around home even, I'll go to the racetrack to watch my son Cameron race or whatever, or I'll be driving every once in a while, and everybody will come up to you and they'll get talking, and you're waiting for the old story. I seen you win that one race, or you barely, I couldn't. Now they're like, man, we really like you on Flo. So I don't know if they've raced against me and they just don't want me out there with them anymore.
I mean, that's a testament to what streaming has done for our sport, right? I mean,
really
back in the day, my buddies had to wait to see it in Speed Sport News on Thursday, right, or whatever, right? And it just, he won. So now you can see how bad or how good you were.
I think we should take some of the blame for all those T-shirt trailers. I think streaming is helping T-shirt sales too. So I apologize for the headache.
That's great. I mean, you walk through there, you walk through the campground, and it's better than being at Disney in my mind.
It's got to be cheaper.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. It's a carnival type atmosphere. People are pumped up, and we're racing for a lot of money this week.
When I roll into Disney World and they've got a Busch Light silo, then I'll know we've really done something. Quickly, how did that come together? By the way, that Busch Light silo.
I mean, really, I'm living in a house in the corner, and on the back patio you see an empty silo, right? I'm like, something needs to be on there, right? So, and I've had many people so far this year, right? First timers. That's something that really stands out to me, is how many people have been here.
Right?
It's my first time. I've come. I haven't been in 20 years. And to have a little bit of a beacon to know which way's north, where I'm at from the Busch Light silo,
especially after the race, where they can find their camper.
Correct.
Levi, I believe Dylan is about to hop on. So Levi, thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking a second to join us. And we're winning him over, guys. I think he's almost a late model guy. Almost, I think. We're going to take another quick commercial break. Hopefully Dylan Scott live on the other side. You're watching FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota.
Premier Health was first in the region. First emergency room, first ICU. We created the first ambulance in the air. We broke records. We made history. Our 110 years of experience were gained for this one split second.
We're going to take you to Miami Valley Hospital, okay?
We were granted level 1 trauma verification, the highest level of care for critically injured and sick patients. We treat patients that other hospitals can't. We are the most experienced. Premier Health.
Since 1978, Sweet Manufacturing has been the leader in high-performance power steering. Employee-owned and built in the USA, we proudly deliver the best in-class steering equipment. With constant innovation and development, we push performance to the next level because champions demand the best. When precision matters and performance counts, trust the experts. Sweet Manufacturing. Let us turn your wheel.
Hey, race fans, have you set your Dirt Draft lineup yet? Dirt Draft is the fantasy racing app you can download right on your phone. Pick a team of 5 drivers within your $100,000 salary cap, and the better they do, the better you do. You earn points to spend in the Dirt Draft Speed Shop for all kinds of cool stuff, from t-shirts and hats, race tickets and pit passes, or even a season pass to FloRacing. New subscribers even get a free Dirt Draft t-shirt. Download the Dirt Draft app now from the Apple app or Google Play Store.
If you're like me, you take pride in a great-looking lawn. And my pride begins with my ride, a Grasshopper mower. Whether you roll it off the trailer or out of the garage, you'll get the power to effortlessly tackle tough terrain, mow around obstacles, or cut through thick grass and overgrowth. You'll trim, vacuum, mulch, and more, all from a driver's seat that's as comfortable as your favorite pair of jeans. The exclusive Powerfold deck even makes cleanup and storage a snap. Whether you're a pro or just want to mow like one, make a Grasshopper mower your ride and your pride.
This is what you save your lunch money for.
Welcome to the High Limit Room.
McDowell digging hard down the straightaway. 1 to go for $125,000, Dustin.
Final time around, McDowell is right there. Brandon Shepard trying to hang on and get the first Eldora Crown Jewel win for the Rocket House Car team. Through 3 and 4 for the final time. McDowell down low. They're side by side to the line. Off corner number 4. Brandon Shepard wins it. What a finish in the dirt late model dream. McDowell spins to a stop, and Brandon Shepard by 5/100ths of a second.
The 2019 Dirt Late Model Dream, Brandon Shepard at the line. Dale McDowell found the rubber first that night. Randy Weaver and Sheppy Wooden coming off the top. There has never been a last lap pass in the history of the Dirt Late Model Dream. We almost had one that night. McDowell's going to get him another one before this career's over, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, and that was so close. And Sheppy done the best thing in the world, not try to change his line on the last lap, because that messes your rhythm up every time, and 9 out of 10 times you're passed. So that was a heck of a finish.
We had to fill with Levi Jones, who couldn't sing a note, we come to find out, right? But I think this next guy that's joining us can. For the first time this year, we are super excited to have country music sensation Dylan Scott live on the FloRacing Night in America pre-race show. Dylan, I can't tell you thanks enough for joining us, man. I know it's as hectic as it gets for you right now. First of all, your tour is exploding. How's it going? Tell us how the tour is going, the Easy Does It tour.
Man, life is good, dude. Touring's good. The shows have been great, sold out, lots of people there. And yeah, man, we're having so much fun living life right now, getting to play music every single night.
Is it too busy? Or are you like, this is comfortably busy, you feel like right now?
Well, I mean, touring wise, it's not too busy. I tell you what gets too busy is like, we just put a new album out last week. So obviously there's a bunch of press leading up to that, weeks ahead of it. So you got press for the new album, you're touring, my kids playing baseball, gymnastics, there's still honeydews at the house, and I'm still trying to watch racing at the same time while working on a piece of property out here. So it's a lot going on.
Real quick, how are you as a baseball dad? And give me your top honeydew that's not done on the list right now. What are both of those?
I'm a pretty quiet baseball dad. I'm not the dad back there screaming at him. But as far as the honeydews go, gosh, dude, I mean, where do I start on it? You know, right now, she just texted me and said that she wants steak tacos tonight. So I get to run by the grocery store and go home and cook. So You know how it is.
Randy, even country music stars got to go to the grocery store, right? We're all married, right? We're all married. Dylan, I know we're about halfway through the dirt late model season. What have you seen so far? I know you get to watch into races, tune in as much as you can. That Bobby Pierce is still good. Ricky Thornton's still good. Jonathan Davenport's still good. What have you seen so far as we approach June?
You know, I haven't seen as much as I'd like to see compared to like last year with everything being busy. But I have watched a bunch of the highlights, and I have caught a few of the races. You know, it's almost like a continuation of last year. Like you said, Bobby's still dominating, Ricky's still dominating. All these guys are still doing what they're doing, and just shows how strong they are. And what I love about it is just the sport itself, man. It just seems like it's exploding, you know. Everywhere I turn, even at my shows, man, there's people wearing, I see Bobby Pierce shirts, I see Thornton shirts, I see all kind of dirt racing shirts. So it's just cool to see, man. It's cool to see what it's doing.
You've obviously been to Eldora before. There's somebody watching this right now that's never been to Eldora Speedway. Just tell them why. Tell them why they need to come to this place.
Yeah, TV doesn't do it justice. Yeah. You know, I mean, it's awesome to watch, right, from your living room or whatever. But I don't know, man. The first time I pulled in there, I got chills just like everybody else does, I'm sure. But I don't know, that you don't quite understand how big the place is. You don't understand the energy. You don't understand how fast the cars really are going until you're there and you experience it. And just besides the racing, just the whole Eldora experience is top notch, man. Everything about it.
Randy, quickly go ahead for Dylan.
Well, besides Dylan, your stuff exploding, have you seen a lot of the fans, like you talked about on the dirt stuff, at your concerts? But have you really felt like how big of the dirt guy you are? Like if we're at the shop or even going down the road in the holler and one of your songs come on, the guys are like, hey, that's our guy. Turn it up, you know. So have you seen that, you know, I guess, connection with just the dirt people?
I have, man. It's been really cool as a boy who, man, like I said, I've done this since my dad started taking me when I was probably 6 or 7 years old. And, you know, to be a part of it in a way now where I know a lot of these guys, or, you know, maybe I don't quite know them yet, but I've met them and they're listening to my music and, you know, they're sending me DMs and we're talking back and forth. It's really cool to me because, you know, a lot of people's like, oh, you said it a while ago, even country music singers are going to the grocery store. It's like, man, I'm just a regular dude at the end of the day. So I look up to these drivers and these pit crew guys and everybody a part of racing kind of the same way people look at me, you know. I mean, I look at them like, hey, they're a big deal. So to be rubbing shoulders with them and shaking hands, it's a pretty cool deal.
Dylan, last thing I'll say on that note, I know you got to get steak tacos ready, so I don't want to keep you. When I went to the FloRacing Night in America event earlier this year, somebody stopped me and said, hey, I wanted to ask you about something. He said, that song, This Town's Been Too Good to Us. He said, you know that song? And I said, I'm very familiar with it. Yes, it's our open for FloRacing Night in America. And this guy almost had a tear in his eye. He was up from Northern Illinois, and he said, that's our All My Rowdy Friends. He said, it's better than Hank Williams. He goes, when I hear that song and I know there's a Flow Night event, he goes, I'm telling you, it may sound crazy. It means the world to me that guy lets you guys use that song. I just wanted to share that story with you because it's made such a big impact on our series, and I think dirt late model racing as a whole, so thank you.
Well, man, I appreciate that. I don't know if I'll ever be in the same category as Hank, but for them to say that means a lot, man. You know, that's the reason I write music and put music out, is to hopefully somebody feels something from it or takes something away from it. So, you know, to hear something like that and for the dirt race community to bring me in and help me out, it really means a lot.
Are we going medium rare, medium? What's the steak? But last thing, what are we going on the steak tonight?
Yeah, we're going to have to go medium rare on the steak tacos, a little cilantro, a little cabbage, or I don't know, man. I just follow the recipe. My wife likes it, and I just do it, you know.
Randy says I never feed him, Dylan, during these nights, so this is not helping. He's definitely getting very hungry right now. Dylan, thanks so much, man. Good luck on tour. I know you got Nashville coming up. Thanks for joining us. And one more time on the show this year, we'll see you from Fairbury in July, okay?
Can't wait, man. Thank you, guys. Looking forward to tonight.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Randy Weaver, it's like you said, he's as down home as it gets, right? That guy's become very famous, but he is one of us.
Yeah, and you can tell it just like you said. He's going to the grocery store. He's still got to eat. He's still got to do the honey-do list. I thought I was the only guy that had that. And, you know, he's just a good all-around guy that has not forgot where he came from.
Last commercial break. We're going to come back and wrap up from the Infield Media Center here at Eldora. You're watching FloRacing Night in America presented by Kubota. I got a special guest coming up as we wrap up as well. We'll be back after this.
This isn't just a shop. It's where racers build products for racers with blood, sweat, and gears. At Buzzy Racing, we know what's at stake because we race too. From rear-end rebuilds and tube straightening to dyno-tested steering boxes and transmission overhauls, we don't just fix it, we build it like it's our own. Family-owned, track-proven, built with purpose, built to win.
Hey race fans, picture this, a tap house with 46 taps where you make all the choices, paying by the ounce as you try all of your favorites on our unique self-serve pouring wall. Sure Shot Tap House offers something for everyone, from crafts, ciders, and seltzers to old favorite domestics, bourbon, and wine. Oh, and let's not forget our awesome beer-inspired food menu. So race fans, while at Eldora, be sure to check out the Sure Shot Tap House. Online at SureShotTapHouse.com, just right down the road in Greenville.
Impact Race Gear is your source for custom race shirts. We are certain that you will see the same things that hundreds of racetracks, teams, organizations, and manufacturers have already discovered. When it comes to quality and service, we simply can't be beat. We are not one of those here today, gone tomorrow print shops. Impact Race Gear has been trusted for years by racers all across the country. Give your fans and sponsors what they deserve. Simply awesome race shirts. Visit us online at impactracegear.com to learn more and start your order today.
Established in 1983, FK Rod Ends has been the industry leader for both midget and micro racing. Family owned and operated, we take pride in our products and our name because we know you value yours. Visit our website, www.fkrodends.com, to find out how you can join our winning team. FK Rod Ends. To beat the best, you've got to use the best.
We are about 10 minutes away from hot laps for a now FloRacing Night in America record 85 entries. The previous high, also at Eldora Speedway, 82 cars, but we'll be at 85 tonight. That campground will be full by the time the weekend's over. It's only Wednesday. Levi brought up a great point earlier, Randy. Where do these people work at?
Yeah, I
got
don't
good
know.
jobs. These
Nowhere
people.
that I've ever worked.
We're got a special guest here, but before we get to that, we mentioned Scott Bloomquist, right? First dirt late model dream without Scott Bloomquist. And Todd Turner worked this up for us as well. Career earnings in the dirt late model dream. When you look at this list, it's unbelievable the amount of money that Scott pulled out of this place. Well, yeah, that's okay. I want to start here first. Producer Tiffany in my ear. I like starting here, actually, because Jonathan Davenport's been so dominant here. So, for perspective, JD's led 228 laps. That's third all-time, 652. He's still got a long way to go in this event behind Bloomquist and both Moyer. Of 30 races, 771 drivers have attempted to enter the dream, with 182 starting at least one race. And here's your Southern boys, Randy. Every race since 2011 has been won by a Southern-based driver, with the exception of two Illinoisans, Dennis Erb Jr. and Brandon Shepard. And that inaugural dream list we showed you earlier, only two guys still racing from that. Jesse Lay and Kevin Weaver. Hard to believe, only 2 of 24 still racing. And I like this one, too, that Todd threw on here. Every dream winner ever ran at least one complete season with a National Touring Series. That's a great note. And the event has drawn 100 or more entrants 17 times, including last season. Now let's take a look at the career earnings in the dream. And Randy, you raced a long time in your career. Look at this big old number up on top. The Scott Bloomquist has made $894,000 in this event alone, double his closest competitor. It's hard to believe that Brandon Overton is already second on this list, right?
Yeah, but when you can click 2 off in 1 year and do that
Good
helps.
point.
That speeds you up a lot. But man, what money Scott got. And think about it, a couple of times light. So
yeah, exactly. So he probably another 100,000 he should have on this. So he'd be pushing $1 million, and he got a flat tire with 4 laps to go in the inaugural Dream. So it's obviously Bloomquist, Overton, JD, Billy Moyer still hanging in there at number 4. Dale McDowell and Darrell Lanigan, a guy that won one Dream, but man, he was snake bitten here a lot, Randy.
Yeah, he really was. One year they said he wasn't coming, and I was like, I don't blame him. I mean, he had the worst luck to have a fast race car 2 or 3 years in a row.
Yeah, we've got a special guest joining us now. It's going to be with us for about 4 to 5 minutes, a guy who has carved out an unbelievable role for himself in the world of dirt late model racing and has worked with this guy to his left, Randy Weaver. It's Vinny Giuliani. Of course, I said, hey, who exactly do I say you work for other than VG Performance? We're just sticking with that. You're the president, CEO, head man in charge and everything of VG Performance. Vinny, same question I have for you that I have for everybody else. You roll through the gates at Eldora. It's just different, isn't it?
It's just an energy that you can't compare to anywhere else. It's got that vibe. You and I have talked about it through the years. It's just theater. Yeah. You know, it just has all these things that we go to a lot of cool places, but when you come to Eldora, it just gives you that vibe and that feeling, and I just love it. You know, I've been coming here a long, long time, and going back and kind of watching some of the historical stuff. It just there's so much history, so much meaning to every race here, and I just love coming here. You know, everybody you talk to always loves coming here, and so to have a little success here has been amazing, and you know, you got it marked on your calendar for sure.
Wild West Shootout 2007. You're working for John Anderson. I have started a fledgling dirt late model website called Dirt on Dirt that some people said will never make it. Fast forward 18 years later, you know,
here we are.
You have carved out this unbelievable spot where you're considered one of the smartest guys in the sport. I think Dirt on Dirt and FloRacing did okay. I think we made it. Did you think when we were sitting in an Outback Steakhouse and you were writing me to a hotel in suburban Phoenix that we'd make it this far?
Yeah, boy, yeah, never would have thought it, but we were having fun that day, and we're having fun now, you know, and proud of where you guys have, what you've done for the sport. You know, I wouldn't be where I'm at without what you did, so grateful for that, and yeah, I'm just super grateful and happy to be where I'm at this point, and have the respect of a lot of guys around here. That means a lot to me, and I've just been involved with all the best guys, you know what I mean? If you surround yourself with the best people, you're going to learn from them, and you know, I look good because of all the guys that, you know, I've been fortunate enough to work with, you know, up to this day as well.
You worked with Randy Weaver. Randy Weaver that year, like you said, he was already rolling maybe before you got there, but one of the best years of his career, right, was one of the years you worked with him. What was it like to work with the Dream? I work with him all the time at Eldora. What was it like to work with him?
So the first thing when I went to visit was just, and I knew he had immaculate stuff, but yeah. I'm very clean in particular as well, so I fit right in with those guys. And then Josh and Pearl were there, and they just had a great program, and we took it to the next level, and it was great working with them, you know, and we had to cut that short, but because of the wreck. But then Overton come along, well, Jonathan for a little bit.
In the 116.
In the 116, and then Overton, and that kind of took us, you know, to another level as well. So we had a really good stretch together, and Randy's done a lot for me personally, you know, helped me in my life through the years, so we're happy to be sitting here together right now. Absolutely. For sure.
Same thing for you. What's it like to work with this guy?
Well, first of all, I brought him in because I knew where the sport was going, and we was doing really well for our guys, and Josh and Pearl, some of the smartest guys in the sport, and very, very good at what they do. But we thought we needed to step it up, and I knew I couldn't do it. I'm too old school. So when I finally got to talk to Vinny and we got a little meeting set up and everything, I actually had to go buy a house to put him in. Now, he rented it from me. Eventually, he bought it, and then he moved out and sold it, and I think done good. But I was that committed, and Chip Stone and Rusty also was 100% on. They wanted to step it up. They seen it was coming. We was trying to get ahead of the game, and I felt like we did. And then when Jonathan come in, we won some races. And then he went to Barry Wright, and then we brought Overton in, and I think it kind of spoke for itself after that. We was really dominant there for a while. That was hard on my side but I still wanted to be part of the best team around, and that's what we had.
Cars are getting ready to roll for Hot Laps. Vinny, real quick, 20 seconds. What's your mood right now as your guys get ready to go out here?
Oh man, I'm excited. I feel good today. You know, it's that calm before the storm, but you know we've prepared for this and we're ready. And I've got a great roster here, and Devin is always strong here. We've been good here the last year. Been working on it, top 5. So just need that little bit, and we'll see what we got tonight. We're excited.
All right, thanks for joining us, Vinny. I really appreciate it. Before we go, and Vinny can go ahead and step out. Thank you so much. I want to show a picture. 2015 Dirt Late Model Dream. No green light, right? I said to the guy sitting to my left earlier, do you know who got 13th in that race that night? And Randy kind of looked at me, and I think he realized, wait a minute, that was me. Here's a picture from that race in 2015, 10 years ago. Randy Weaver in the No Green Light Dream actually finished 13th in that race. I think we've got a photo of this. I think this is the 3 wide photo that we've actually got. Yeah, look at this. You and Jimmy Owens digging that night. That 116 still one of the sharpest cars in the whole sport. Pretty neat that night, Randy.
Yeah, it really was. That was one of the years we was really good. We won a lot of races. I think that's the year you guys finally had to vote me number 1, but I wasn't in either one of the national tours. So, but it was cool just to come up here and run good, and we actually was really good in some preliminary stuff up here. I just seemed like the bigger races, I never could get it done. Something always bit me in one way or the other.
Yeah, Randy, he did. You said you ascended to number 1 that year, and your dad said to you it was one of the coolest things, right, to say that you made it to number 1 in our poll.
Yeah, Dad, when he got really sick, we was like number 13 or 12 or something, and he said, I think you'll be able to get in the top 10. And I was like, Pap, it's hard to even get on that list. And to me, honestly, I thought it was harder back then, just being me. But then we got number 1, and I done all that just to prove a point to him, and then he passed, and that's just the way it goes. But it sure did make you realize what it took to get to there.
Yeah.
It wasn't nothing easy. I mean, I basically slept at my shop to prove a point, but we got it done, and it meant the world to me, and that's why this place is so special. Just all the history, all the times me and my dad's been here. And, it just means a lot to a lot of people. It ain't just Randy Weaver's story. There's a lot of stories out there, and that's why people keep coming back.
Yeah, Randy's 100% right. We are awfully close to cars rolling on the track for Hot Laps. One last note I had, I think I mentioned it earlier, first ever Dirt Late Model Dream without Scott Bloomquist and Billy Moyer. We mentioned Scott, no Bloomquist, no Moyer. First time ever that neither one of them is an entrant since 1994. Says an awful lot about their longevity, what they did for this sport. And I just wanted to tip our hat to 21 and to 0, who without question to me are the 2 greatest dirt late model drivers of all time. Those pack trucks are almost done. Cars are almost rolling on the track. Randy and I will be back after qualifying right before the feature and then wrap it up with our post-race show. Devin Moran will join us. But for now, Ben Shelton and Dustin Jarrett have all the action from the Eldora Tower. Guys, take it away. Night number 5 of FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. It's so good to be here. And Ben Shelton, we got race number 5 in at Eldora last year as well, but it was at the World 100. We got our 5th race in September last year. Mother Nature, knock on wood, playing very nice to us so far this season. And excited to get this one underway with, as Rigsby mentioned, a record car count for FloRacing Night in America presented by Kubota.
It is, and we had a late arrival, Ryan Payne. That's 84 cars signed in, and we're so honored to be here and to have so many great fans on a Wednesday night. And if you're watching at home on FloRacing, we hope you're going to join us here the rest of the weekend, the 31st annual Dirt Late Model Dream. We're the warm-up act, if you will, here tonight. $20,000 to win. This is the 41st all-time event for FloRacing Night in America presented by Kubota. And as DJ, as you said earlier, this will be our 4th event we've had here as a series, and we've never had a repeat winner. We'll see if that stays true here tonight. We haven't had a repeat winner on the tour, and I think it's worth mentioning, of our 25 in series points entering tonight, 23 are in attendance. Only Brian Shirley, who decided to take the whole weekend off. Yeah. He's not going to race here tonight. He's 2nd in points. He's taking the whole weekend off, and then Clay Stuckey, also not here, but he is going to be racing here this weekend. Just didn't make it tonight. 25th in points. Pretty cool to be round 5. We got 23 of the top 25 in points, and boy, is it a star-studded field. And there's even some guys making their debut with the tour here tonight.
Yes, some guys making their debut with the tour. Some guys making their debut here at Eldora in general as well. Some drivers that, some guys have maybe been here before or turned wrenches here or whatever else, but have never had the opportunity to race here before. And we're looking forward to seeing them here all weekend long as well. as we are just about ready to get underway with Dirt Draft Hot Laps. By the way, if you've not yet done so, set those Dirt Draft fantasy lineups. Ben, I saw you setting yours earlier. Good job.
Did.
I'm very proud.
If I can crack the top 1,000 tonight, I'm going to be really happy. Setting the stage for tonight, 6 heat races, taking the top 3 out of each heat. We'll have 3 B mains taking the top 2. 24 cars. We added 2 starting spots tonight. 24 cars will locking out of heats and B mains. Then we will do 2 paid provisionals, 25th and 26th. That's based on perfect attendance drivers who are the highest in points that don't make the series. And then if they elect to, 27th and 28th, I think it'll get taken tonight, emergency provisional drivers. And again, if you're emergency provisional, you don't make any money until you get past the start money. So let's say you get to a spot that pays $1,500. You get $500 for that spot, but it's a chance for the points, again, toward a $75,000 championship. And, oh, yeah, over $137,000 total points fund. The guy on your screen, the 49 of Jonathan Davenport, Mr. Eldora himself, the inaugural champion back in 2021. He is 3rd in the series standings entering tonight, just 36 points out of the lead. Meanwhile, Brandon Overton and Cars 76, 10th in the series standings, just 127 points out of the lead. And just on cue, we've got cars rolling to the Speedway, and they'll be led out by Brandon Overton, last year's Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series champion, and car 76, the Riggs Fiber Nap Auto Parts, Garto Southern Longhorn Factory, Clements Powered Entry. 3 wins this year for Brandon Overton, 10th in our standings, 6th with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series.
Behind him is going to be the driver of the Donald and Gina Bradshaw Paylor Motorsports, number 93. That is Carson Ferguson. He's 9th in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series point standings. 2-time Spring Nationals champ in that Hoopaw Grading Company, Copeland Farm, Spark Oil Company, Boone HVAC sponsored Longhorn, Carson Ferguson. Behind him going to be the 17, that is Zach Dome out of Cross Lanes, West Virginia, the 36-year-old, that Vic Hill powered Longhorn, the Tim Short Auto Group. Watt Floor Coverings, Dome Cycles, Daggett Reynolds sponsored number 17.
Seth Daniels, the S21 out of Jackson, Ohio, returns 3 and 4. The Wilson Excavating, 4 Boys Racing Supply, Tim Haddle Trucking, Ryan Powered Rocket. He'll be going after his first ever Dream Start later this weekend. The second in last year's Valvoline American Late Model Series standings. Behind him in car 7W, the driver out of Headingley, Manitoba, the Vic Hill Powered Sniper race car for Ricky Weiss. The G-Style Transport, Derek Sandblasting, Borderland Hay and Straw, car 7W. 3 wins this year for Ricky Weiss.
5-time Eldora Speedway track champion Jerry Bowersock rolls down the front straightaway in the 95 J, the Full and Camp Frenchtown Trailer Sales, TB Tile, Truman Quarter Horses, North Star Drilling sponsored entry for the Jedi Jerry Bowersock from about an hour up the road in Wapakoneta, Ohio. Behind him in the 58, that's going to be Garrett Alberson, a 3-time winner already this season, 5th in the Lucas Oil point standings. That Romer Machina Welding, Low Voltage Solutions, Bill Spore Shop, Mesilla Valley Transportation sponsored number 58 for Ken and Beth Roberts. That's Garrett Alberson.
The 55, welcome to Eldora Speedway out of Moorhaven, Florida. Eli Johnson, the Rocket with a J. Dickens Power Plant, the Clyde Johnson Contracting and Roofing, 7 Peaks QXO, Johnson Riverside Family Practice 55 car. And behind him in car 99 Junior, that is Frank Heckenus Jr. out of Frankfort, Illinois, the Stork Squares USA, Indy U Bullet, Vic Hill Powered Longhorn. 1 win this year. That came at Farmer City Raceway. And DJ, a couple more on the track, and there's some good ones.
Absolutely. The 44 of Chris Smokey Madden, welcome back. In that Gambler Transport Motorsports, Brickhouse Tavern, Victory Circle Auto Sales sponsored entry. That's him on your screen. Also on the racetrack, the 99 of Devin Moran, who broke that Moran family curse last year, getting a win here at Eldora. The Roger Sellers Double Down Motorsports Lazy Days RV sponsored number 99. We've also got the 18D. Well, there's the 01, the General Lee.
That's right.
Turbo Lee. Ben, it's going to be Tyler Erb.
Get it right, brother.
Yep, on the racetrack in the Best Performance Motorsports, Langenfelder Mechanical Contractors, Bulk Material, and Roberts Beat Company. First Class Septic, sponsored 01. Dalton Wilson in the 18D there on your screen, and the James Ratliff Racing sponsored entry.
And behind him, one more driver, Johnson City, Tennessee's Jensen Ford, the Pro-Built Powered TNT race car, Minen Racing, Minen Construction, Blue Reynolds, all sponsors for Jensen Ford and the Penske Shocks number 83. Fantastic field here tonight. 84 drivers signed in.
85?
84.
85.
Oh, would you get a 5th one?
We got Ryan Payne was a late entrant.
He was 84.
Nope, you actually have an extra toe on one foot, and so that threw your
Look at that.
Numbers off.
Look at you. You get one. Yeah, you're right. So Ryan Payne is number 85. I thought he was the 84th when they penciled that in. So 85. That is an all-time series record. 82 last year at the World 100 on Wednesday night was the most cars we've ever had. And you talked about the Way Flooring number 17, Zach Dome. Only a handful of races so far this year, but throughout time, Zach has had some big runs in the Dream and the World. The past few years have not been as kind to him, but we'll see what he can do here this weekend. And Ricky Weiss put together a solid early season in car number 7.
Yeah, he's third in the Hunt the Front point standings is Ricky Weiss, a driver that's made the dirt late model Dream 5 times. And we're going to let these guys roll this racetrack in just another lap or so here before we send them back into the pit area. There is that good-looking Lee 01.
There's so many cool designs here, and I tell you what, as we get things dialed in here, I wonder if our cohorts, if they've made it down to pit road yet. We are very honored, and I see James Essex has got his notes down there. He's checking. Doesn't have his microphone right now. He's checking notes on the cars. And Mike Norris, have you got your ears on yet? These two down there, anything's possible.
In the wild.
DJ, down to you, Norris.
Welcome to Norris and Essex after dark. A little bit later. It's going to be a great night. That's what I'm told.
I love it. We're glad to have you here, Mike. Of course, Mike, the voice of the Mars Late Model Series, and glad to have him here. And of course, the voice, the GOAT, James Essex from the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. He's down there fist bumping OP. We don't know where his microphone is. James doesn't know where it is.
He doesn't know either.
He's going to be in charge of the Dethridge Opticians Choose Cone for a little while later tonight. What could go wrong, DJ?
I cannot. That's going to be what everyone actually has their eyes on tonight. Is James Essex manning the Dethridge Opticians Choose Cone?
Well, he always says PSG. Please stay green. The cone is green. They were a match made in heaven, so we'll see how that goes. And starting to get this racetrack ironed in just a little bit, as again, very windy here today. Winds 15 to 20 miles an hour. The sun was out most of the day, a little overcast right now. So they've added some more water to it. I expect, DJ, as long as Mother Nature stays a fan tonight, and it looks like she will, we're probably going to have a little bit of track prep work along the way to stay on top of this racing surface on a very windy day.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right? It's no secret. 4 straight nights of racing here, obviously. Mother Nature, we'll see if she plays nice to us the rest of the weekend or not, but we know things look good tonight, and you can see those lap times really starting to come down now. Ricky Weiss, the quickest, with a 1:6.861. Chris Madden also in that 16-second bracket with a 1:6.992. In the big perm, Dalton Wilson, third quick right now after the first session of Dirt Draft Hot Laps with a 1:7.329.
And Weiss, of course, the 2018 North-South 100 champion, picked up a couple of NLRA championships and a 5-time WSOTA champion. Another driver with 1 win on the year leads the next set of cars out to the Speedway. That'll be Chalk Hill, Pennsylvania's Mason Ziegler, the Clements-powered Rocket XR1 Green Lane Imperial River Transport entry. And his 1 win came at Latrobe Speedway with the ULMS a few weeks ago, worth $7,500. Meanwhile, behind him, welcome to Eldora Speedway, Derek Stewart out of Ainsworth, Iowa. The Grace Motorsports Stewart & Sons LTD Midwest Frame and Axle Old Pro Powered Capital Race Car for Derek Stewart in the 43.
Next driver on the racetrack is going to be the driver out of Hohenwald, Tennessee. That's going to be Oakley Johns, back with us this year in that Johns Timber, Jolliffe Enterprises, Zippy's Auto sponsored number C6, a winner at the Tennessee National Raceway earlier this season. And there's the 11 of Josh Rice, now 2-time and defending Northern All-Stars Late Model Series champion in that J. Dickens powered rocket chassis, the Rice Excavating and Plumbing, Sinesis Construction, Extreme Sportswear sponsored number 11 for Josh Rice.
Jason Jamison, a 1-time winner this year. That came at Paragon back on April 18th out of Lawrenceburg, Indiana. The Clements-powered Longhorn race car, Ratliff Racing, Grantley Farms, ICS, and MGL Auto Sales, all sponsors on the Ratliff Motorsports number 12. And behind him in car 19M, a brand new rocket chassis for Causeyville, Mississippi's Spencer Hughes, the Yellowhammer Design and Construction, Neon Bubbles Car Wash, Clyburn Tank Lines, Dickens-powered Rocket XR1 for Spencer Hughes. 1 win on the year, and that came at the Ice Bowl in a stock car.
And Eldora Newby is going to be behind him, a well-versed driver out of Phoenix City, Alabama, Montana Dudley, and the Thomason Properties. The Racing Zone, Tim Thomason Construction and Landscaping sponsored number 7, a pair of 604 wins this year. in the number 7, and behind him, the next driver on your screen, he's running the 2024 throwback wrap, we'll call it, on
You
the
change
side of the
nothing
49.
when it's that fast.
That's right. It'll be Superman Jonathan Davenport, the 3-time Dirt Late Model Dream winner in that Lance Landers Nutrient Ag Solutions Dynagrow Seed ASC warranty sponsored 49.
And worth mentioning, Oakley Johns, that car lost power into turn 3. It's been pushed to the infield, so they'll try to get that Jeff Greer Motorsports entry lined out. Meanwhile, car number 9 on your screen, and man, he's had a lot of speed here lately. Former World 100 champion, former Lucas Oil champion, former World of Outlaws champion, T-Mac Timmy McCready out of Watertown, New York. Nexus Storage, Dave Warren Power Sports, Corey Rubber Corporation, Clements Powered Longhorn. 2 World of Outlaw wins on the year for T-Mac Timmy McCready. And down to you, Mike Norris.
Oh, yeah,
James.
It's Chuck Norris, by the way. Ben Sukup, Dustin Jarrett. You know what he's driving, right?
Yeah, say it. Let the fans
know.
know.
Schwartz car is Ben Sukup.
It's also the most random hit of the night already. Welcome to the show, James. We're so glad to have you here.
I'm glad to be here. I'm down here. I'm talking to Tony Stewart. I'm talking to everybody. You know Tony Stewart's leading the top fuel in HRA points, right? You know that, right?
Listen,
Okay.
we heard Tony said hi to you earlier tonight, and you didn't even know who he was.
I told Smoke I was going to put him in dirt rap tonight, so there you go.
Well, we just saw Ben Sukup on your screen out of Norfolk, Nebraska.
That was
First
a good
time here.
segue, producer.
It
Good
was.
segue.
Mark Whitener in the 5-car, 6-time winner this year, was on your screen. Another Florida resident, the 6-car Clay Harris out of Jupiter, Florida, looking to turn his luck around this year. It's been a tough year so far for that driver. Behind him, not just any Reaper, the skinny Reaper.
Yes, the slim
The
Reaper.
slim, not the skinny. Brody Smith out of Dade City, Florida, making his Eldora debut here tonight. He's got his brother, of course, Brendan Smith, in action as well. The Big Daddy's Cattle 17 SR for Brody Smith out of Dade City, Florida. There's a lot of Florida cars here. I tell you what, it's a resurgence here at the Big E for the Sunshine State drivers.
Don't worry, fans. James Essex will be back on the microphone up top here tomorrow. How about Tim McCready continuing his little strong run here lately, Ben? 16240 for T-Mac. He picked up a pair of World of Outlaw wins at
2
Raceway
in 3
7.
days.
Yeah, Raceway 7 in Bedford there just a few weeks ago.
That's right. T-Mac having a good run here lately in the Briggs Transport number 9. Fastest car in that set, and overall, as DJ said, 16240.
Derek Stewart, by the way, in
You
Forest
never
Trent.
know where the Iowa driver Derek Stewart's going to show up.
I know,
He's
it's
like
like-
a modern-day Duke Wizen. You never know where Derek Stewart's going to show up.
I love it.
Well, we just talked about Brody Smith. How about his older brother, but not a whole lot older, the 17S of Brendan Smith out of Dade City, Florida, the Big Daddy's Cattle, Clyde Johnson Contracting and Roofing, Durham-powered Rocket XR1. And the number 93, this will be his first dream. He's entered the world, but this will be the first time here for Corey Lawler out of Hanover, Pennsylvania, the Dry Dean, Kaufman's Auto Clinic, Sunoco Race Fuels, Poncho's Racing Products, Pro Power Racing Engine, Longhorn race car for Corey Lawler.
Next driver on the track is the 3-time Fairbury Speedway track champion. That's going to be Opie, Mike Spatola out of Manhattan, Illinois, and that B&D Chemical, Lake Norman Mechanical, Country Chevrolet sponsored number 89. That's Mike Spatola. Behind him in the number 12, that's going to be the Land Shark. It's Ryan Payne. In that Payne's Trucking Service, Pratt Massio Self Storage, Barnes Trucking, Jenkins Auto Parts sponsored. Number 12R for Pennsboro, West Virginia's Ryan Payne.
Rolling in the top side of his racetrack, but back in turn 3, about a half track behind Ryan Payne. That's Mike Marlar, 1 win on the year at Mudwick Valley Speedway. I think you got a t-shirt from there, DJ. So you saw Mike Marlar over Skyline Motorsports, Clements Powered Infinity race car, and the number 10 on your screen. That'll be Garrett Smith. 3 wins on the year, and he's this year's Schaefer's Oil Spring Nationals champion. Garrett Smith out of Eatonton, Georgia, the Vic Hill Powered Longhorn, Atlanta Paving and Concrete, World Famous Cadillac Ranch, and Chase Motorsports, all sponsors for Garrett Smith.
There is the most recent 6-figure winner in dirt track racing. Yes, Drake Troutman out of Hindman, Pennsylvania, picked up the $100,000 win in the Modified World Championship at Mississippi Thunder Speedway last week. That's him on your screen, and that G.R. Smith-owned 22 Star, the Victory Circle Auto Sales Gambler Transport sponsor entry. There's Joseph Joyner out of Milton, Florida, sporting a special wrap this weekend. Joseph behind the wheel of that Kubota Hunt, the Front Base Racing Fuels Trade and Paints sponsored at number 10.
Speaking of special paint schemes this weekend, a little bit of a different flair, a little day glow red on that race car. The one car, the Rocket One Racing entry, Brandon Shepard, former Dirt Late Model Dream champion, 5-time defending World of Outlaws champion, and the Valve Lane Performance Grading, Soyber Calf Wrenches, Ace Metalworks, #1, a Durham-powered Rocket. He was our series champion back in 2022. And behind him in car 74, sometimes you get distracted, man. It's like there's cats running around up here. The 74X on your screen, and the Jarrett Rifles, Azio, ASD Motorsports, Clements powered Longhorn. It's Ethan Dotson. One win on the year that came with the World of Outlaws, Farmer City Raceway, the Clements powered Longhorn for Ethan Dotson.
There's Tristan Chamberlain on your screen, the second-generation driver out of Richmond, Indiana. He's had a solid run here as of late. Picked up a couple wins at Moeller and a win at 191 in that Wayne Gibson Racing Cake Sewer Nozzle sponsored entry. And there's the 11AK, the Austin Kirkpatrick owned entry. Ross Bales behind the wheel this weekend of the Barbarinos Pizza Race Engines and Asian Spa Paco's Tacos sponsored number 11AK.
Yeah, some sponsor checks cashed the week on that race car. Meanwhile, Tristan Chamberlain immediately to the infield. Not sure what kind of troubles he may or may not have. Also on the screen, the number 81 car of Jason Riggs on the screen on the track out of College Grove, Tennessee. One win on the year that came at Clarksville Speedway. Riggs Fiber, best one tire of Harrisburg, Illinois. Clements powered Longhorn. And Ryan Payne, he's been branching out more and more in the past year, DJ, in the 12 car.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about Ryan a little bit ago out of Pennsboro, West Virginia. Got his first career super late model win, actually 2 years ago this weekend at Tyler County Speedway. Ethan Dodson, Ben, going to the top of the leaderboard right now with a 1.5.460. Still a ways away from the track record. Brandon Shepard set that. It's a 1.4761, and Sheppy set that at a rescheduled World 100 back in October of 2018.
And there you see the Azio Jarrett Rifles. Do you own part of that company?
Yes,
True or false?
thank you. Thank you.
Okay, got it. The 74X, and man, that's another team that kind of needs a little bit of luck to turn around. They started the year with a lot of speed, and they've had some bad luck the past couple of months. Is right now second in the World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year battle behind Drake Troutman. Right now, the top of the leaderboard in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. I believe that's going to wrap up the cars in Group A, as we will have the cars in Group B. Group A will make up heat races 1, 2, and 3 tonight out of Sunoco Race Fuels qualifying. Heat races 4, 5, and 6 will come out of Sunoco Race Fuels Group B qualifying, and we're going to do the crossover. We got cars coming from the top side. We're going to step aside. Thanks to marketing partners. We'll be right back here at Eldora Speedway, FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota. We are live here at the Eldora Speedway. Hey, if you're on the grounds, don't forget to get your 50-50 tickets. Racing for Relief is the beneficiary of the 50-50. You can always keep track of the winner's share of the 50-50 in the lower right-hand part of the video board. The winner's share right now up over $2,000. There's a new drawing every single night, so play early, play often. You can also get tickets anywhere in the state of Ohio at Eldora5050.com.
Getting ready to roll the next set of cars. Also, make sure to get the Q Live app. That's CUE Live app, and you get to be part of the driver parade laps tonight. They got something really cool. It's going to be all weekend. The driver Q Live app. If you're on the grounds here in that CUE Live app, we'll talk more about that as the first set of cars come out in the next wave of hot laps. And that'll be Kel Green out of Pellion, South Carolina. Vicule powered Longhorn, Jesse's Well and Pump, Transtel Incorporated entry for Kel Green in car 4. Behind him, Fear of the Beard. It's trimmed up and he's ready for business here today. Tyler Bruning out of Decorah, Iowa. One-time winner of the Lucas Oil Series, the Skyline Motorsports Quick Supply Company. We'll head down to the pits.
Yeah, Ben and Dustin, quick chain gears apparently on the 20TC of Tristan Chamberlain, according to his dad, Dwayne. So hopefully they get that fixed before time trials. Thanks, guys.
All right, great.
Thank you, James.
Thank you, James. Yep, there's Justin Cooper on your screen in the Conley Trucking, Conley River Terminal, Tanner's Truck Service sponsored number 00. He will be followed by the fastest ponytail out of Parkersburg, West Virginia. It's Fast Freddie Carpenter in the Burwell Motorsports, Boston's Farm Venue, Chatham & Son Tile sponsored number C4. That is Freddie Carpenter.
In the 388 car, that's Jackson Heights out of Ocala, Florida. The H&R Racing Engine Longhorn Triple Crown Trailers, Quality Services Roofing, the sponsors on that 388. The 7-time Florida State Go-Kart champion. And riding behind him in car number 88, take the 3 off, you got the 88. That'll be the little head knocker, Trent Ivy out of Union, South Carolina. Clements Powered Longhorn, Palmetto Pole and Piling, Ivy Construction, and Izzy Septic Services, all sponsors on the Barfield Timber, number 88 for Trent Ivy.
The 17M Mr. Consistency, Dale McDowell, the 2014 Dirt Late Model Dream winner in that Shane McDowell Racing, Reese Monument Company, S&H Services, Pathmaster sponsored number 17M for the 56-year-old. Behind him is going to be the driver of the number 25, and that is Bloomington, Illinois' high side hustler Jason Feger in the Titan Industries Outpace Racing Products, SC Online Sales, Remtech Enterprises sponsored 25.
The number 71, your 2023 World 100 champion and Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion, it's Hudson O'Neal, our most recent winner. He won at Marshalltown back on May 13th. That's SI Motorsports, Wheeler Metals, Professional Concrete Cutting Solutions, Clements Powered Longhorn 71, and the 114 of Jordan Kohler behind him out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, the Ultimate Towing and Recovery, Capital Waste, Traffic Control Safety Solutions, Cornet Powered Longhorn for Jordan Kohler.
Nick Hoffman on the racetrack in the Tide Touareg Racing, NOS Energy Drink, C&W Trucking, Lone Wolf Petroleum sponsored number 9. Nick calls Mooresville, North Carolina home. That's him on your screen. And behind him, another Eldora first-timer is going to be Justin Duty out of Milano, Oregon, the 28-year-old in the Don Frank Ford's First Class Septic, Robert Speed Company, Finish Line Graphics sponsored number 15.
Also in this set, the 11S of Austin Smith out of Cedartown, Georgia. On your screen, oh, is Freddie Smith. I'll play again. Freddie Carpenter not up to speed. Right in front of Austin Smith, combined 2 names there. You see what I did. The Clements Powered Capital Race Car, the SCCS Solutions, Hesco Solutions, Cedartown Electric 11S for Austin Smith as Freddie Carpenter gets his feet under him. And one other driver in this set, I believe we're going to have the 19 of Dustin Sorensen. Indeed we do. The Pro Power Racing Engine Longhorn Heavy Hitch Sorensen and Sorensen Painting and Paulson Rock Products on Dustin Sorensen's number 19.
So interesting story on Dustin Sorensen. After they went through tech, they were pushing that car back up the racetrack, and it actually slid out from under him and got into the wall there as they were going off the racetrack. So that team had to go to work after that. After that session of Dirt Draft Hot Laps, Hudson O'Neal is the quickest here in the first session for Group B with a 1:5.333. And is that Evan Kohler or is that Jordan Kohler?
That's Jordan.
It's not. Listen, we know it's not Randall Chupp. It's one of the 3 114s.
I never thought I would see a race with 3 114s, and Randall Chupp was not one of them. But yeah, that's Jordan in the orange and black and white one. Meanwhile, in the ASD Motorsports Ronnie Dobbins throwback, I love this one. The 25 car of Shane Clanton, one of 8 drivers to win the Dream and the World, and he's in car 25. See the Super K Express, M&S Concrete, Carolina Concrete Finishers, Clements Powered Capital for Shane Clanton, and riding behind him down the back straightaway, fresh off a feature win at Potomac Speedway over the weekend, Will Harrington, a 2-time feature winner this year. The Clements Powered Rocket XR1, All About Doors, Watermelon Park, and 5M Construction. Number 15K for Will Harrington.
If you drink, don't drive. Go to the Watermelon Park. Behind him is going to be the 18X, and that is Michael Page. A pair of wins this year at Fort Payne for the driver of the Bear Truck and Trailer Sales, Coast to Coast Marine, ML Masonry sponsored number 18X. Hot Rod Conley behind him out of Wheelersburg, Ohio, in that Conley Trucking, Conley River Terminal Impact Race Gear sponsored number 71R.
The number 60 making his debut at Eldora out of Lakeshore, Minnesota, Dan Ebert, the Durham-powered Rocket XR1, Collins Brothers Towing, Minnesota Truck Headquarters, Amsoil, and Woody's Racing, all sponsors on car 60 for Dan Ebert. And in car number 97, a 7-time winner this year, 5 of those in the mod, Cade Diller, the Thriller out of Roebling, Louisiana. And the S&S Fishing and Rentals, Joel's Auto Sales, Wheeler Metals, Clements Powered Longhorn for Cade Diller.
How about this wrap? Well, we got one before him. We got the 28 of Dennis Erb Jr., former Dirt Late Model Dream winner in the 28 out of Carpentersville, Illinois, and that Vomac Truck Sales, McBride, Matt Kaiser Manufacturing sponsored entry. And behind him, this is the one that I was looking at, Ben, in that Freddie Smith throwback wrap. It was the very first. That was the very first winning car that his dad Gary Winger had a hand in. That's going to be Ashton Winger in that Jeff Matthews Motorsports, RVS Electrical, Kaiser Manufacturing, Super K Express, New Point Lighting and Design sponsored throwback for Ashton Winger.
2-time Dream champion. It'll be Jimmy Owens out of Newport, Tennessee, the 4-time Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion, the Vic Hill powered Rocket chassis. Kohler Motorsports, Ultimate Towing and Recovery, Elite Ready Mix, and Capital Electric, all sponsors for Jimmy Owens. 2 wins on the year for Jimmy Owens. And behind him in cart number 25, welcome back to the Big E, Chad Simpson. It's good to see Chad here with us as he rides in cart number 25 out of Mount Vernon, Iowa, the Longhorn race car, Pro Power Racing Engine, Johnson Holding Company, all sponsors on the Randy Davidson Trucking Mower Farms entry for Chad Simpson.
Alan Stick on the Speedway. He ran with us here last year, the America's Georgia driver in the Simply Elegant Landscaping Montana Dudley Racing Custom Collision Center sponsored number 11. There's the 14 junior of Trey Mills out of St. Augustine, Florida, 7th in the Hunt the Front point standings for the Mills Concrete, Boswell Oil, GMB Performance Top Notch Custom sponsored entry. Kyle Baronson in the 40B on the racetrack out of Brandon, Florida, in the Atomic Music Group Race Car Engineering Borchers Equipment sponsored car. I believe that is everyone on the track for this session of Dirt Draft Top Laps.
Well, so far, Huddy's been the fastest time in this group, 15.333 in Group B, I should say. In this set, it looks like Ashton Winger serving the Southern Gentleman's memory proud right now. 5th fastest, and the fastest in this set. Michael Page, 7th fastest overall in Dirt Draft Group B Hot Laps. And the checkered flag waves, and the fastest car in that set, Ashton Winger, the 2000 Freddie Smith throwback car. Man, that one's beautiful. That brings back a lot of memories. The Christian Berry Trucking 00 days for the late, great Freddie Smith, 5-time Dirt Track World Champion, and he had a couple of Dirt Late Model Dream wins here at Eldora Speedway. Next set of cars roll out, and my favorite car in the pit area, because it brings back memories from my childhood. From 1995, his dad ran this car, and right on cue, he stops where we can't see. The 32 of Bobby Pierce, our current points leader, 2023 FloRacing Night in America champion. The Low Voltage Solutions, Rio Grande Waste Services, Mesilla Valley Transportation 32, and again, that is the car his dad ran back for Mooney Star of a Stars car entry in 1995. Behind him in the 4G, Cody Evans out of Camden, Ohio, the Performance Transport, Aces Place Dog Grooming, Hensley Logistics, Vic Hill powered Rocket XR1 for Cody Evans.
Next car on your screen is going to be the driver of the number 22 out of Mount Holly, North Carolina. That's Chris Ferguson, a TNT race car, the Patriot the Patriot Meat Processing, Spartan Transportation, Live Oak Aesthetic. Family Dentistry sponsored 22 for Chris Ferguson. And there's the 20 RT seeking his first Dirt Late Model Dream win, current Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series points leader, Ricky Thornton Jr. Originally out of Chandler, Arizona, the Ultimate Towing and Recovery, Elite Ready Mix, Capital Waste Certified Inspection Services sponsored 20 RT.
2-time Mars champion Tanner English in the 96 car, the Clements powered Longhorn, Coleman Farms Racing, Autism Awareness, MPM marketing entry for Tanner English, looking to get his luck turned around here this weekend. And the 2X, good to see him back with us. That's John Henderson out of Aiken, South Carolina, the Clements powered Longhorn, ASD Motorsports, Azio, Jarrett Rifles, and BK Paving and Grading, all sponsors for John Henderson's 2X car.
Another black and white number 2 on your screen is going to be Cody Overton out of Thompson, Georgia, and that Dave Stein, Molly Enterprises, TriStar Engines and Transmissions, Big Dog Stump and Tree sponsored Longhorn for Cody Overton in the black number 2. And behind him, new wrap this week, and I like that, the Reaper Ryan Gustin out of Marshalltown, Iowa, in that Todd Cooney Racing, Wells & Sons Motorsports, Carl Auto Group, Allen Seamless Gutter sponsored 19R for the Reaper Ryan Gustin.
Hey, Ben and Dustin, Cody Evans went on Facebook about a week or so ago asking for more sponsors for Eldora. He picked up one of my new favorites, the Tipsy Hog HOG over in Eden, Ohio. So thanks to a local company for helping out Cody Evans, the Tipsy Hog. Make sure you visit there.
I thought maybe Essex and Jarrett Logistics jumped in and sponsored it.
Is Chris Simpson here?
He is.
Yep, it's on there. We haven't wrote him a check yet, have we, though?
No, we also owe Austin Kirkpatrick money as well, James. I forgot to tell you that. Carson Brown also on the Speedway there in that GDS Pay Cafe Sunoco Race Fuel sponsor entry. Dilly, welcome to Eldora Speedway. Dylan Thornton, originally out of Orcutt, California, now calling Belle Plaine, Iowa home. He is behind the wheel of that Cody Summer DRT, Dirt Racing Technologies, Hawk Farms, Duval Electric sponsored entry. Dylan Thornton, a 9-time winner this season. First ever trip here to the Big E.
And he was honest with you. He said, are you nervous? He goes, yeah, kind of a little bit. This is a big deal. And I asked him, I said, is the track bigger or smaller than you expect? He goes, it's even a little bit bigger and more high banked. Very excited to be here. And
he's going to lay down the 6th fastest lap so far, does Dilly.
Which, by the way, was fastest in that set. He's not afraid.
That is incredible. So Dylan Thornton with a 1.5.474, rising up for the West Coast in the great racing state of Iowa in that Dirt Racing Technologies Cody Summer owned number 13. And that is a wrap on Dirt Draft Hot Laps here this evening. They're going to get things turned back around here very quickly and do the crossover. And we are going to get right in here momentarily to Sunoco Race Fuels time trial. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, we'll be ready to get underway with qualifying with FloRacing Night in America presented by Kubota. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota, as we kick off the 31st Annual Dirt Late Model Dream Week here at the Big E. And Ben, we are ready to get underway with Sunoco Race Fuels time trials. The first half of the field, that'll be Group A. They'll qualify against each other. The way they qualify will set the stages for heat races 1, 2, and 3. We'll wipe the slate clean. The back half of the field, that'll be Group B. They'll qualify against themselves, and the way they qualify, that will set up heat races 4, 5, and 6 coming up a little bit later on this evening. Again, we'll have 6 heats. There'll be 10 laps in distance, 3 B mains. There'll be 12 laps in distance. And again, this is a standalone show, FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota, with no bearing whatsoever on the rest of the 31st Annual Dirt Late Model Dream Week.
All right, we'll get underway. Track record of 14.761 by Brandon Shepard back on October 12, 2018. First qualifier, Zach Dome out of Cross Lanes, West Virginia. There's Tim Short Auto Group, Way 4 covering, Dome Cycles, Octane Race Products, Daggett Reynolds, Vic Hill Powered, Longhorn number 17. The 44 of Chris Smokey Madden out of Great Court, South Carolina. The Cornet Powered Longhorn, 1 win on the year. For the driver of the Victory Circle Auto Sales, Millwood Plumbing, Gambler Transport, Brickhouse Tavern, Armor Security Entry, and the 58 of Garrett Albertson out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. Low Voltage Solutions, Rumor Machine and Welding, Titan Racing Products, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Nutrien Ag Solutions, Bill's Sports Shop, Clements Powered Longhorn for the 3-time winner, Garrett Albertson.
First 3 drivers getting up to speed. Zach Dome, 1.5514. Chris Madden, 1.5257. And that's the fastest lap we've seen anybody turn here so far this evening. Garrett Albertson, a 1.5559. Second and final lap times going up on the board. Zach Dome, second lap quicker, 1.5293. Second lap time for Chris Madden, not as good. And the second lap for Garrett Albertson is the time to beat, 1.5.192. Those are 3 solid laps laid down. Garrett Albertson with the early time to beat.
Up next will be Brandon Overton out of Evans, Georgia in the 76. The 7W of Ricky Weiss out of Headingley, Manitoba. And the 18D of Dalton Wilson out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Brandon Overton, the Riggs Fiber, Napa Auto Parts, Carnto Southern, Dude Wipes, Heartbeat Hot Sauce, Clements Powered Factory Longhorn Entry. Currently 10th in the FloRacing Night in America points, 6th with Lucas Oil Series. A 3-time winner this year is Brandon Overton, defending Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series champion, the 7W of Ricky Weiss. 3-time winner this year, 3rd in the Hunt the Front standings this year. The G-Style Transport, Derek Sandblasting, Borderland Hay and Straw, LG Transport, Keywat Truck Service, Vic Hill Powered Sniper Race Car, and the 18D of the Big Perm, Dalton Wilson. The Ratliff Racing, Grantley Farms, ICS, MGL Auto Sales, Keltner Construction, Auto Outlet, Clements Powered Longhorn for Dalton Wilson. And again, 1 win on the year as we continue here at Sunoco Race Fuels qualifying.
1.5192, that early time to beat by Garrett Albertson into the first trio. It's going to be Brandon Overton. Will be the first driver to trip the trigger in the number 76. And his first lap time is a 1.5.383. Ricky Weiss, 5th quick, 1.5912. And the second lap, or first lap time for Dalton Wilson, 5th quick, 1.5497. Brandon Overton crosses the stripe. Good lap, Ben. He is going to be second quick by 6 1/1000ths of a second, 1.5198. Second lap time for Ricky Weiss, better, 6th quick, 1.5.871. And Dalton Wilson improves on lap 2. He will be 5th quick with a 1.5344. Garrett Albertson, Brandon Overton, Chris Madden are going to be your top 3 after 6.
Up next out of Lincolnton, North Carolina, the 93 of Carson Ferguson, the S21 of Seth Daniels out of Jackson, Ohio, and the 99 junior of Frank Heckenus Jr. out of Frankfort, Illinois. Carson Ferguson, the Payor Motorsports, Hoopaw Grading Company, Franklin Enterprises, Coleman Farms Racing, Live Oak Family Dentistry, Clements Powered Longhorn for Carson Ferguson in the 93. The S21 of Seth Daniels out of Jackson, Ohio, the Wilson Excavating, Four Boys Racing Supply, Tim Haddle Trucking, S&D Transport, Basil Racing Fuels, Sunoco, Ryan Powered Rocket for Seth Daniels, the 99 junior. 1 win this year. That's Frank Heckenus Jr. of Historic Squares USA, Indy U-Pull it, DirtOval66.com, Petrov Towing, Capital Signs, Junior Hauling, Vic Hill Powered Longhorn for Frank Heckenus Jr.
First driver to clock a lap is going to be the 93 of Carson Ferguson. He's 3rd quick, 1.5.227. Seth Daniels will come across the line, 8th quick, 1.6020. And the first lap time for Frank Heckenus Jr., he'll go 8th quick, 1.5900. Carson Ferguson to the top of the leaderboard, Ben. Good lap, 1.5147. My goodness. Seth Daniels improves on lap 2, 1.6 15.018, and the second lap time for Frank Heckenus Jr. is a little better, 7th quick, 15.871. But how about it, Eldora? Carson Ferguson now the time to beat, 15.147.
Up next, Clewiston, Florida's Eli Johnson, the 55, the 95 of the Jedi, Jerry Bowersock out of Wapakoneta, Ohio, and Jensen Ford, the fastest mullet out of Johnson City, Tennessee, in the 83. Eli Johnson, the Clyde Johnson Contracting and Roofing, 7 Peaks QXO, Johnson Riverside Family Practice, Taylor Electric and Air Conditioning Rocket with a J. Dickens Power Plant in the 55, the 95, 5-time track champion here at Eldora Speedway, the North Star Drilling TB Tile, Frenchtown Trailer Cells, Best Performance Motorsports, Sour Mugs Tavern, Clements Powered Rocket XR1 for Jerry Bowersock, the Jedi, in the 83 of Jensen Ford out of Johnson City, Tennessee, the Pro Belt TNT race car, Mine and Racing, Mine and Construction, Blue Reynolds, Penske Shocks, all sponsors for Jensen Ford's 83, and Eli Johnson trouble, he'll slow out of turn 4.
And he is going to make that turn into the infield. No harm, no foul. Bowersock will be 10th quick. Jensen Ford will be 7th quick. Eli Johnson not going to log a qualifying lap here this evening. So the 4-time modified, 1-time late model track champ here at Eldora, Jerry Bowersock, second lap's a little better, 11th quick, 1.6154. Jensen Ford, second lap also better. He stays 7th, 1.5641. Ben, 12 drivers have now attempted a lap. Carson Ferguson, Garrett Alberson, Brandon Overton are your top 3 in Group A.
Up next out of New Waverly, Texas, but residing in Ohio currently, it's Tyler Urban, the 1T, the 0-1 this weekend, I should say, the 99 of Devin Moran out of Dresden, Ohio, and the 11 of Evan Kohler out of Mount Airy, North Carolina. We're going to check for debris out on the racetrack. Tyler Urban, the 0-1 this weekend. The Turbo Lee, if you will, the Best Performance Motorsports, Langenfelter Mechanical Contractors, First Class Septic, Anthony's Pizza, Sunoco, Roberts Beat Company, Clements Powered Rocket Chassis, last year's play again, the Hell Tour champion. 5 wins already this year for Tyler Erb, looking for one here tonight at Eldora. The 99 of Devin Moran, he is off to a fantastic start to the year. 7 wins on the year, 5 with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, currently 3rd with that Tour's points. Entering tonight, he's 5th with FloRacing Night in America, the Lazy Days RV, Big River Steel, Bill Stein, Millwood Plumbing, BQ Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Fiat, Phillips CPA, Cornet Powered Longhorn, and joining him on the Speedway, Evan Kohler, the youngster, coming to us out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, the Clements Powered Longhorn, Ultimate Towing and Recovery, Capital Waste, Traffic Control Safety Solutions, Elite Ready Mix, Bill Stein, Coleman Farms Racing, Shelton Lock and Key, no relation, all sponsors on the 114 of Evan Kohler.
So they are gunning for Carson Ferguson's lap of a 15.147. Track crew's got the Speedway cleared of debris, and you got some guys out there that have potential to lay down a pretty quick lap time. Turbo is going to trip the trigger first, 7th quick, 15.421. Here comes Devin Moran in the 99, 6th quick, 15.343, and Evan Kohler, 10th fastest, 15.783. The Turbo Lee comes off corner number 4. His second lap's better. It'll be 8th quick, though, Ben. 15.417. Devin Moran's second lap time not as good. He'll stay 6th, the 15.343. And Evan Kohler improves on lap 2. He's 10th quick. His best lap, a 15.701. 15 drivers have attempted a lap. They're still gunning for Carson Ferguson, 15.147.
Up next out of Causeyville, Mississippi, the 19M of Spencer Hughes. He'll be joined by the 11, play again the 12 of Jason Jameson out of Lawrenceburg, Indiana, and the 114B of Clayton Bryan out of Yoder, Indiana. Spencer Hughes, the Yellowhammer Design and Construction, Neon Bubbles Car Wash, Clyburn Tank Lines, DriveBarstow.com, and Lone Star Supergas, all sponsors on the Rocket XR1 for Spencer Hughes. 1 win this year. The 114B of Clayton Bryant out of Yoder, Indiana. 1 win this year for that driver in a modified at Montpelier. The Geiger Machine, Apache Propane Killer, Diesel Performance, Potter's Lawn Service, Pro Power Racing Engine, Rocket Chassis for Clayton Bryant, and the number 12 car of Jason Jameson. 1 win this year for the Ratliff Racing, Grantley Farms, ICS, MGL Auto Sales, JRR Trucking, JRR Motor Sales, Clements Powered Longhorn for Jason Jameson.
Spencer Hughes, 11th quick on lap 1. Jason Jameson is 9th fastest his first time around. And Josh Rice, he now goes 9th quick. We'll see what Spence has on lap number 2. Second lap's a better time, but he's 13th, 1:5.742. Jason Jameson's second lap, not as good, 10th quick, 1:5.506 is his best lap. And Josh Rice comes off corner number 4. He'll jump up a few spots. He goes to 6th fastest with a 1:5.305. Zach Dome is 5th, Chris Madden 4th, Brandon Overton 3rd, Garrett Alberson 2nd, and they all still trail Carson Ferguson in his lap of 1:5.147.
Up next, it'll be the 7 of Montana Dudley out of Phoenix City, Alabama, the C6 of Oakley Johns out of Hohenwald, Tennessee, and Brody Smith out of Dade City, Florida, in the 17 SR. Montana Dudley making his debut here at the Big E, the Cornette-powered Longhorn, Tim Thomas Construction, the Racing Zone, A&E Metal Roofing, Thompson Properties, Burgers and More, Cornette-powered Longhorn, a 2-time winner this year is Montana Dudley. Oakley Johns, a 1-time winner this year. The Jeff Gurr Motorsports, J. Dickens Powered Rocket Chassis, sponsored by Zippy Autos, Franklin Enterprises, Johns Timber, Summertown Metals, B&B Race Parts, all sponsors on that race car. And the 17 SR of Brody Smith out of Dade City, Florida, the Big Daddy's Cattle, Clyde Johnson Roofing and Contracting, Total Claim Source, Plum Crazy Plumbing, and Jim Facino Trucking, sponsors for Brody Smith.
On Montana Dudley, 14th, I got this. On lap number 1, Oakley Johns was 19th. Brody Smith was 20th. Montana Dudley, second lap a little better, 11th quick, 1:5.552. Second lap time for Oakley Johns a little better, 19th, 1:6.169. And Brody Smith, you saw him slip up on lap number 2. He'll be 20th, 1:6.373. 21 drivers have now attempted a lap in Group B. Carson Ferguson, Garrett Alberson, Brandon Overton, still your top 3.
Mason Ziegler at Chalk Hill, Pennsylvania. Up next, the Green Lane, Imperial River Transport, JLE Industries, Roy's Body Shop, RBS Auto and Trailer Sales, Clements Powered Rocket XR1 for Mason Ziegler. He's got 1 win this year. The 93, a driver's had some speed over the past couple of months. Out of Hanover, Pennsylvania, Corey Lawler, the Dryden Kaufman's Auto Clinic, Sunoco Race Fuels, Poncho's Racing Products, Pro Power Racing Engine, Longhorn Race Car. And the 9 of Tim McCready out of Watertown, New York, 2-time winner this year, former World of Outlaws, Lucas Oil champion. Nexus Storage, Dave Warren Power Sports, Quarter River Corporation, On Time Body and Graphic, Valvoline Trans 58, Briggs Transport, number 9M for T-Mac, Timmy McCready.
Mason Ziegler will go 13th on his first trip around the Eldora Speedway. Corey Lawler is 18th fastest on lap number 1. And T-Mac, Timmy McCready goes 12th quick. Second lap time for the 25Z, Chalk Hill, Pennsylvania's Mason Ziegler, 11th fastest, better lap, 1:5.508. Corey Lawler wheels the 93 off corner number 4. His second lap's a little better. He's 19th, 1:5.955. Tim McCready improves on lap 2. He'll jump up to 10th quick with a 1:5.489. 24 drivers have now attempted a lap in Group A. Carson Ferguson still the time to beat with a 1:5.147.
Up next out of Ainsworth, Iowa, it'll be Derek Stewart in the 43, the 49, defending Dirt Late Model Dream champion Jonathan Davenport out of Blairsville, Georgia, the 22 star of Drake Troutman, fresh off a 100,000 plus win in the modified at Mississippi Thunder Speedway last Saturday night out of Hyman, PA, in the 22 star. Derek Stewart, the Grace Motorsports, Stewart & Sons Ltd, Midwest Frame and Axle, Houston Ag Company, Keltner Company, Welding and Fab, Capital Race Car for Derek Stewart. Car 49, Jonathan Davenport, he's got a Cornette power plant under the hood of the Longhorn here, checking for debris on the Speedway down in 3 and 4. Davenport, 7 wins on the year, 4 with Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. He's second in their standings. He's third in our standings. The 2021 FloRacing Night in America champion. And the Nutrient Ag Solutions, Bill Stein, ASC Warranty, Donna Grow Seed, Midwest Sheet Metal, Lucas Oil Products, Mark Martin Automotive Group, number 49 for Jonathan Davenport. And I mentioned Midwest Sheet Metal there, our buddy Chris Davis on the men back home. And Chris, we appreciate all you do to support racing, and we hope you get to feeling better soon. Look forward to seeing you back at the racetrack. Final car in this set, DJ, will be the 22 star of Drake Troutman. 4 wins on the year. They've all come in the mod, and as we said, the one back on Saturday night was a big one, $100,025. Mississippi Thunder Speedway in the mod he won. Tonight in the Team 22 Inc., Victory Circle Auto Sales, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Brickhouse Tavern, RFI Resources, Bill Stein Cornette Powered Longhorn for Drake Troutman, currently 4th in the World of Outlaw Late Model Series standings, and he leads the Rookie of the Year points battle over there as cars make their way to the Speedway. Next set of qualifiers led out by Derek Stewart.
And again, this is Group A, as you see on the left side of your screen. Those of you watching at home, Sunoco Race Fuels time trials. This does set the stage for heat races 1, 2, and 3 a little bit later on this evening. So everyone gunning for Carson Ferguson's quick lap of 1:5.147. Again, if you're just tuning in, standalone event tonight, FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota. Has no bearing whatsoever on the rest of the week with the 31st running of the Dirt Late Model Dream. Derek Stewart will trip the trigger first. Ben, he'll go 19th quick, 1:5.923. Jonathan Davenport, 15th quick on lap 1, 1:5.652. And Drake Troutman's first lap time is 11th, 1:5.496. Second time around for Derek Stewart, not as good, 21st quick, 15.923. And Jonathan Davenport grabbed the wall, Ben. He is not going to get a second qualifying lap. Drake Troutman does. He's 11th quick, second lap not quite as good. And there you see the damaged right rear quarter panel on the 49 of Superman Jonathan Davenport, and he currently is 16th quick with a 1:5.652.
Well, mangled right rear spoiler on that race car. Next three cars will make their way out. It'll be Brendan Smith out of Dade City, Florida, leading this set to the Speedway, the 17 SS. Big Daddy's Cattle, Clyde Johnson Contracting and Roofing, Total Claims Force, Plum Crazy Plumbing, Jim Pacino Trucking, Durham Powered Rocket XR1, 17 SS for Brendan Smith. Ben Sukup out of No Fork, Nebraska, and the Pro Power Racing Engine Swartz race car, Power Sports Nation, Spud, Snowy Range Adventure. That sounds fun. And the 0S for Sukup, and the 89 of Mike Spatola coming to us out of Manhattan, Illinois. The TNS Heating and Cooling Refrigeration, Illinois State Rifle Association, Big Daddy Scrap, B&D Chemical, Country Chevrolet, Pro Power Racing Engine, Rocket XR1. A 1 win on the year for Spatola.
24th quick for Brendan Smith on lap 1. First lap time for Ben Sukup is going to be 25th quick. We'll see what Opie has his first time around. He goes 24th, 1:6.059. Second lap time for Brendan Smith, 19th, better, 1:5.807. Ben Sukup does some agricultural racing on the extreme high side down in turns 3 and 4. He loses a lot of speed. He'll be 26th right now, and Opie's second lap time a tick better. He'll be 23rd with a 1:5.933. Ben, we've now had 30 drivers attempt a lap here in Sunoco Race Fuels Time Trials Group A. Still Carson Ferguson, Garrett Alberson, Brandon Overton, your top 3.
Up next out of Morristown, Tennessee, Forrest Trent in the Service 101 Storm Recovery, Trent Logging, TNC Diesel, Bill Stein 2-4 Machine, Vic Hill Power Team 0 race car. And we've got Midwest sheet metal yellow lights around the Speedway, maybe checking for more debris, and we are where Sukup kissed the concrete over in turn number 4. Garrett Smith will also be in this set of Sunoco Race Fuels qualifying out of Eatonton, Georgia. 3-time winner this year, the 2025 Schaefer's Oil Spring Nationals champion, the Atlanta Paving and Concrete, world famous Cadillac Ranch, Chase Motorsports, VP Racing Fuels, Boswell Oil, all sponsors on the Vic Hill Powered Longhorn for Garrett Smith's number 10. Another number 10 in this set, that'll be Milton, Florida's Joseph Joyner. 5 wins on the year, 2 of those in the modified. And the Kubota Base Racing Fuels, Trading Paints, HuntTheFront.tv, Clements Powered Capital Race Cars. You see Garrett Smith on your screen getting underway. So Forrest Trent, Garrett Smith, Joseph Joyner, your next 3 qualifiers. Time to beat Carson Ferguson, a 15.147.
3 drivers going to come up to speed right now. Forrest Trent will be the first one to take the green flag. All 1s and 0s in this one as Forrest Trent over-rotates over in turns 1 and 2, and you're just kind of at that point where you want to see more green than what we have seen thus far.
Yeah, and this one, this group's got a little binary code flair to it. You got 1s and 0s out there. There's computer coding happening somewhere. You got
It's kind of like the 6-digit passcode that they send you, where they try to fool you. You know, your 6-digit passcode is 100101. What?
Yeah, there was a song by the band Clutch that had all those numbers in the title. I have to get that to you. I think they're not as good as Desert Highway, but you would still like them.
Well, thank you. I know Desert Highway's been my jam lately.
They're your favorite.
So there's the 101 of Forrest Trent. See if he is able to get everything A-OK cleared on that race car. It looks like he is. Garrett Smith also on the track, the former dirt track world champion. Now calling Madison, Georgia home is Garrett Smith. Your newly crowned Spring Nationals champ.
That's correct.
Is Garrett Smith, by the way. He's in that white and blue number 10, the black and white 10 with the American design on the side. That's the Kubota number 10 of Joseph Joyner. So they're gunning for a 1.5-1.47, and Garrett Smith lays down a good lap, Ben. He's going to be 10th quick on lap number 1. First lap time for Joseph Joyner is 18th quick. Forrest Trent is going to come across the line. He'll be 28th fastest with a 1.6.081. Second lap for Garrett Smith, not quite as good. He'll stay 10th. And the second lap time for Joseph Joyner is a little better. He'll move up to 13th with a 1.5504. We've now had 33 drivers attempt a lap. And Carson Ferguson still quickest here in Group A.
Up next out of Middleburg, Florida, it's Mark Whitener in the 5. He's joined by the 6 of Clay Harris out of Jupiter, Florida, and Bakersfield, California's Ethan Dotson in the 74X. Mark Whitener out of Middleburg, Florida, in car number 5, the Whitener's Tractor Service, Southeast Ship Repair, Ocala Restaurant Supply, Jeff Concrete Works, and Angry Elephant Tattoos and Piercings. Pro Power Racing Engine Longhorn, 6-time winner this year is Mark Whitener. The 6 of Clay Harris joins him on the Speedway. The Durham-powered Longhorn, Wilkerson Farms, Rescue Metal Framing, National Fragile X Foundation, Done Right Construction, Impact Electrical Services entry for Clay Harris. And the 74X of Ethan Dotson, ASD Motorsports, Jarrett Rifles, Azio, BK Paving and Grading, American Racing Pro Series, Clements Powered Longhorn for Ethan Dotson. 1 win on the year for Dotson. He's currently 8th in the World of Outlaws standings.
Mark Whitener is 27th quick on lap 1. Clay Harris 33rd quick his first time around. And Ethan Dotson will go 17th fastest. We'll see if anybody is able to improve on lap number 2. Checkered flag in the air for Mark Whitener. He does not. 1.6005, 28 quick is his best lap. Clay Harris jumps up to 30th with a 1.6070, and Ethan Dotson will bump up 1 spot to 16th. His best lap, a 1.5513. 36 drivers have now attempted a lap. Carson Ferguson, Garrett Alberson, Brandon Overton, top 3.
Up next, Mike Martler out of Winfield, Tennessee in the 157. The Skyline Motorsports Truck Country, Quick Supply Company, Bruning Rock Products, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Can-Am Auto Salvage, Clements Powered Infinity Race Car, former World of Outlaws champion winner here with FloRacing Night in America a few years ago, joined by the 20 TC of Tristan Chamberlain. 3 wins on the year for the Richmond, Indiana driver. The Gibson Racing, Keg Sewer Nozzles, Pardo's Towing Service, Vision Woodwork, Spec Racing Engine, Infinity Race Car. And car number 1 of Brandon Shepard out of New Berlin, Illinois. The Valvoline Performance Grading, Soyber Calf Wrenches, Ace Metalworks, Franklin Enterprises, Collins Brothers Towing, Durham Powered Rocket for Sheppy, former Dream winner and 2022 FloRacing Night in America champion.
Ooh, Mikey Marler on the wood, 7th quick on his first lap. Brandon Shepard is 12th fastest. Ross Bales goes 27th. Let's see what Mikey's got for him. On lap number 2, he does not improve. He'll stay 7th. Best lap 1.5315. Sheppy on lap number 2. He jumps up to the top 10. 10th quick, 1.5398 of Ross Bales. He will improve on lap number 2 with a 1.5.581. That is good enough for 20th quick. So Marler, the fastest of that trio, he is 7th overall. Carson Ferguson, still the time to beat, 1.5147, Ben.
Yeah, Tristan Chamberlain didn't make it out in that set, so we saw Ross Bales come out in that AK race car. Final 2 qualifiers at Sunoco Race Fuels Group A. Jason Riggs out of College Grove, Tennessee. In car number 81, the Riggs Fiber, Best One Tire of Harrisburg, Illinois. Dude Wipes, Triune Flat and Box Trucks, Fiji Performance, Andy's Towing, number 81. 1 win on the year that came at Clarksville Speedway. And Ryan Payne and the 12R out of Pennsboro, West Virginia. The Payne's Trucking Services, Perkins Supply, Barnes Trucking, Jenkins Auto Parts, Pro Power Racing Engine, Kryptonite Race Car for Ryan Payne. 2 last drivers trying to get to Carson Ferguson's 15.147.
They wouldn't mind getting to a 1.5305 by Josh Rice. Had put him on the front row of the heat. Riggs is 25th. Payne is 27th on lap number 1. Both drivers going to have to gain about, let's see, a little over 5/10 to get on the front row of a heat race. Riggs on lap 2 does not. He'll stay 25th, 1.5775. Payne does jump up a few spots. He goes to 23rd with a 1.5688, and that is unofficially a wrap on Sunoco Race Fuels time trials for Group A, the first half of the field. And it was Carson Ferguson laying down the quickest lap with a 1.5.147. Garrett Alberson, Brandon Overton round out your top 3. Chris Madden, Zach Dome, and Josh Rice. As long as those times hold up, they will be on the front row of heat races 1, 2, and 3. And we'll send it down to Mike Norris, who's caught up with your quick qualifier in Group A.
Yeah, we caught up with Carson Ferguson. Congratulations. You know, we were talking earlier. You said you've been consistent. He's shown some speed tonight. A lot of great drivers here at Eldora, the Big Heat, place you've had some success. Fastest lap. Congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, we had a lot of things go our way there going out. You know, a few cars in really definitely helped our situation. But the car's really good. This is a brand new Longhorn, so you know, the guys did a great job at the shop. We've been busting our tails the past few weeks trying to get a little more consistent, and you know, we've shown some speed here and there. Just you know, we're building up the notebook on what not to do, but we're also adding things of what to do. So it's been awesome. My girlfriend and Gracie there run the souvenir trailer. I got my dad here with me, Chris and Neil. My boys Parker, Kyle, and Scott, Al. They've been all busting their butts as a team effort, and I got things done on Gina Bradsher for the opportunity.
I tell you what, guys, he's got a really cool connection to Freddie Smith as well. I'm sure the boys can tell you about that. We're going to throw it over to James Essex.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Update on Jonathan Davenport. Got in the wall on his second lap. They took the pop rivets off of the right rear quarter panel. They do have some damage on the deck, but they're going to hammer that back down, put that back together. He should be go for a seat race. Thanks.
Great update there, James. He's got a hole dug he does tonight to Jonathan Davenport. Now, he is third in the series standings, but with Shirley not here, he's in line for a provisional if he can't race his way in because Shirley was second in the points. So JD's going to try to race his way in, but if not, worst case, JD could take a series provisional here tonight with perfect attendance. And again, second in line for a provisional.
Yeah, still getting some cars crossed over from the upper pit area to the infield, and from the infield back up to the upper pit area, and then we'll wipe the slate clean and get ready to roll with the second half of the field in Sunoco Racefield's time trials here tonight. Again, opening night of the 31st annual Dirt Late Model Dream Weekend here at Eldora Speedway. When we qualify this next group of 43 race cars, that'll be to set the stages for heat races 4, 5, and 6. Here a little bit later on this evening, Dan Ebert there climbing into his race car, getting ready to roll out here in just a little bit.
It's interesting. If Carson Ferguson's time holds up overall, that will mean in 5 events we've had 5 different drivers set fast time at Sunoco Racefield's qualifying. That's pretty cool, and he would join Ricky Thornton Jr., Bobby Pierce, Brandon Shepard, and Brandon Overton. But hey, a lot of fast cars here in Sunoco Racefield's Group B. And the first 3 qualifiers are going to look like this. Jordan Kohler will come out first out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, the Ultimate Towing and Recovery, Capital Waste, Traffic Control, Safety Solutions, Elite Ready Mix, Cornet-powered Longhorn, 2023 Schaefer's Oil Southern Nationals Rookie of the Year in the 114. The 15D of Justin Duty is the first class septic. Don Frank Flores, Darren and Mardell Williams, Jeff Stewart Trucking, Pro Power Racing Engine, Longhorn for Duty. His debut here at Eldora. And the 9 of Nick Hoffman. And man, he's a guy that's always seems like he's on the cusp of a big win here at Eldora in the late model. Could this be the year? The Tide Torque Racing, NOS Energy Drink, C&W Trucking, Petroff Towing, Lone Wolf Petroleum, Clements Powered Longhorn for Nick Hoffman. 2 wins on the year for the driver, currently second in the World of Outlaws Series standings.
So once again, starting over with qualifying, so to speak, as this is the second half of the field. So the times that we just had up there, they've been eliminated from the left side of the screen for those of you watching at home. Brand new slate of drivers set to lay down laps, and Jordan Cole will be the first to do it, a 15.682. Justin Duty, 16089, and Nick Hoffman will bring the Tide Touring number 9 across the line, third quick, 16161. Second lap time, Jordan Kohler, a little better, 15523. Justin Duty has been good lately. His second lap time better, a good lap, 15579. And Nick Hoffman's second lap time is good enough to put him atop the leaderboard, Ben. 15448. The early benchmark has been set by Mooresville, North Carolina's Nick Hoffman.
Oh, Ty with a good lap.
In the Tide Touring. Listen, I know Ty very well. Nick's got a little more driving. I think I've actually ridden with Ty before. It's a good thing Nick's behind the wheel. Hoffman with a 15448.
It's okay, Ty. I believe in you. The 388 of Jackson Heights up next out of Ocala, Florida. The Triple Crown Trailers, Quality Services Roofing, Down to Earth Trailers, VP by Boswell, H&R Racing Engine Longhorn, the 388. And the 97 behind him, that'll be Roebling, Louisiana's Cade Dillard, 7-time winner this year for the Clements Powered Longhorn, S&S Fishing Rentals, Joel's Auto Sales, Wheeler Metals, Massey Valley Transportation, Production Jars, and Jody's Oilfield Services sponsors on that race car. And the 4 of Kelgreen out of Pelion, South Carolina, the Vic Hill Powered Longhorn, Jesse's Well and Pump, Transtel Incorporated, Pelion Auto Care, number 4 for Kelgreen.
15.448 the time they're gunning for. Jackson Heights fourth quick with a 16305. Kate Dillard now fourth quick, 15799. And here comes Cale Green off corner number 4 in the number 4. He'll be sixth quick with a 17947. Jackson Heights the second lap not as good. He'll stay fifth quick. Kate Dillard second lap tick better, 15739. He's fourth fastest. And Cale Green is going to wheel off corner number 4, and his second and final lap time is going to be a little bit better, a 17.830. Nick Hoffman still the time to beat, 15.4 4-8.
Up next, Jason Fager out of Bloomington, Illinois in the 25. The 19 of Dustin Sorensen out of Rochester, Minnesota. And the 11S of Austin Smith out of Cedartown, Georgia. Jason Fager, two-time defending Mars champion, three-time UMP national champion, the Titan Industries SC Online Sales, Rosser Battery, Hoker Trucking, Northeast Fabrication, Digital Copy Systems, Clements Powered Longhorn, a four-time winner this year is Jason Fager, currently second in the Mars standings. The 19 of Dustin Sorensen out of Rochester, Minnesota, the Heavy Hitch, Sorensen and Sorensen Painting, Paulson Rock Products, Tessie Construction, J&S JCP, Pro Power Racing Engine, Longhorn, number 19 and 11S of Austin Smith out of Cedartown, Georgia, the Clements Powered Capital Race Car, SCCS Solutions, Hesco Solutions, and Cedartown Electric, all sponsors on that race car.
Jason Fager, fifth quick on lap number 1. First lap time for Dustin Sorensen is now going to be fifth quick. And the first lap time for Austin Smith, a good one. Second quick, 1:5.469. Trouble for Sorensen on lap number 2. Second lap for Fager, seventh quick as he slows down. Second lap time for Austin Smith is the new time to beat 1:5.440. Austin Smith, yes sir.
Good lap there. Well, it looks like Fager had some issues with possibly the wall and definitely saw Sorensen caught the concrete. All three of them kissing the concrete here at the Big E, but Austin Smith, top of the leaderboard in that Capital number 11. Up next, it'll be car number 88, Trent Ivy, the little head knocker out of Union, South Carolina, the Palmetto Pole and Piling, Ivy Construction, Ivy Septic Services, Barfield Timber, Spartanburg Fleet Services, Clements Powered Longhorn for Trent Ivy. In the 25Z, riding, that played again, the 20, the other green and black race car. That'll be Jimmy Owens out of Newport, Tennessee. The Vic Hill Powered Kohler Motorsports Ultimate Towing Recovery, Elite Ready, Makes Capital Electric, Cheap Cars, Capital Waste, FK Rod Ends number 20. And the number 28, former Dirt Late Model Dream champion, Dennis Erb Jr., the Clements Powered Rocket, Vomac Truck Sales, McBride Mac, Kaiser Manufacturing, Dundee Heating and Air Conditioning, number 28 with one win on the year for Dennis Erb Jr.
Trent Ivy, third quick, and Jimmy Owens, sixth fastest, and Dennis Erb Jr. goes ninth fast. Trent Ivy always good here at Eldora, it seems like. His second lap time, not as good. He'll stay third, though, 1:5.453. Jimmy Owens' second lap, little better, stays sixth, 1:5.598. And Dennis Erb's second lap time, a little better. He stays ninth, 1:6.038 after 12 cars. Austin Smith, Nick Hoffman, Trent Ivy, now your top three.
Up next, it'll be Tyler Bruning out of Decorah, Iowa in car number 16. The Skyline Motorsports, Quick Supply Company, Truck Country, Bruning Rock Products, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Clements Powered Infinity Race Car, one win on the year. That came at Golden Isle Speedway in his first Lucas Oil win for Tyler Bruning. The 17M of Dale McDowell, the Dirt Late Model Hall of Famer out of Chickamauga, Georgia. The Clements Powered Team Zero Race Car, Reese Monument Company, Northeast Fabrication, Klotz Lubricants, Bath Masters, S&H Systems, and Connected Strategy Advisors, all sponsors on the number 17 in for McDowell. Two wins on the year. The 71 of Hudson O'Neill out of Martinsville, Indiana. The SSI Motorsports, Wheeler Metals, Professional Concrete Cutting Solutions, Big River Steel, Merrill Bonding, Clements Powered Longhorn for Hudson O'Neill. 6 wins on the year.
Tyler Bruning, fourth quick on lap number 1. Dale McDowell to the top of the leaderboard with a 1:5.244. And Hudson O'Neill, sixth quick. Boy, three good cars out there, Ben. Here comes Tyler Bruning, lap number 2, fifth quick, 1:5.484 his best lap. Dale McDowell's second lap, even better, 1:5.230. That's the time to beat. Hudson O'Neill goes second quick, 1:5.404. So Dale McDowell, Hudson O'Neill, Austin Smith, now your top three cars. McDowell, the time to beat, 1:5.230.
Up next, Justin Cooper out of Wheelersburg, Ohio in the 00, the Dream Powered XR1 Rocket Chassis, Conway Trucking, Conway River Terminal, Sunoco Race Fuels, Basil Fuels, all sponsors for Justin Cooper. One win on the year that came at Mudwick Valley Speedway earlier this year. The 57 of Zach Mitchell out of Erie, South Carolina, four-time Ultimate Late Model Series champion, one-time Carolina Class champion, the Coleman Farms Racing MPM Marketing Special Needs School of Gwinnett, Bill Stein, VP Racing Fuels, Vic Hill Powered Longhorn for Zach Mitchell, one win on the year for that competitor. And the 00W car, the Freddie Smith throwback for Ashton Winger, the Durham Powered Fusion race car, Jeff Matthews Racing, Johnny Doan Plumbing, Recreational Vehicle Select, and Kaiser, all sponsors for Ashton Winger.
Justin Cooper, 15th on lap 1. Zach Mitchell goes 10th on his first lap. And Ashton Winger, who was quick in dirt trap hot laps earlier, goes 9th quick his first time around. Second lap time for Justin Cooper, not as good. He'll stand on a 1:6.311. That's good enough for 17th. Zach Mitchell, great second lap, 4th quick, 1:5.447 for the South Carolina driver. Ashton Winger, not as good on lap 2. He'll go 1.5594. That's good enough for 10th quick. So Zach Mitchell 4th. Now Austin Smith 3rd, Hudson O'Neal 2nd, and Mac Daddy Dale McDowell the time to beat after 18 cars, 1.5230.
Up next out of Centerville, Pennsylvania, Mr. Miami Dolphins himself, Max Blair in the 111, the 40B of Kyle Bronson out of Brandon, Florida, the 71R of Hot Rod Conley out of Wheelersburg, Ohio. Max Blair's 6 wins on the year, Centerline Motorsports, Creek Pizza and Pub, Riggs Fiber, Upstate Auto Group, C&J Dairy, Dean Auto Group, Clements Powered Longhorn for Max Blair in the 111, the 40B, the killer Kyle Bronson. Out of Brandon, Florida, the Atomic Music Group, Race Car Engineering, LTX Home Builders, Michael Lloyd Hauling and Distributing, Mullinex Recycling entry for Kyle Bronson, and the 71R of Hot Rod Conley out of Wheelersburg, Ohio, the Conley River Terminal, Conley Trucking Afterburner Performance, Valvoline Drain Powered Rocket.
Max Blair will go 15th on lap 1. Kyle Bronson is 12th quick on his first lap, and Rod Conley checks in 20th fastest, lap number 2. The driver out of Centerville, Pennsylvania. In that Centerline Motorsports entry, Max Blair 14th, best lap 1.5795. Bronson 12th, best lap 1.5612, and Rod Conley 20th, his best lap 1.6426. Dale McDowell, Hudson O'Neal, Austin Smith, your top 3 after 21 cars.
Coming up next, it'll be Trey Mills out of St. Augustine, Florida, in the 14 Junior, and the Twins Farms, Mills Concrete, VP Racing Fields, Boswell Oil, VG Performance, Factory Fits Incorporated, Clements Powered Longhorn 14 Junior, the 2X of John Henderson out of Aiken, South Carolina, the ASD Motorsports, Jarrett Rifles, Azio, BK Paving and Grading, American Racing Pro Series, Torco Racing Wheels, Clements Powered Longhorn, and the 60 Dan Ebert, first time here to Eldora, the Durham Powered Rocket XR1. Collins Brothers Towing, Minnesota Truck Headquarters, Amsoil, Woody's Racing, Fox Shocks, Country Pride Excavating, and Peterson Farms, all sponsors for Dan Ebert's number 60.
So they're all gunning for Dale McDowell's lap of 1.5230. Trey Mills will be 13th his first time around, 15.627. First lap for John Henderson, 19th, 16.128. Dan Ebert's first lap time is good enough for 16th, 1.5889. Second and final lap time for Trey Mills, not as good. He'll stay 13th in his best lap of 1.5627. Second lap for John Henderson, a little better. He's 16th quick, best lap 15. 8.63, and Dan Ebert's second lap also a tick better. He'll bump up 1 spot to 15th. Ebert 1.5775 his best lap time. Dale McDowell still the time to beat, Ben, after 24 cars in Group B, 1.5230.
Welcome back to Eldora Speedway, Mount Vernon, Iowa's Chad Simpson in the number 25, the Pro Power Racing Engine Longhorn Race Car, the Johnson Holding Company, Randy Davidson Trucking, Moeller Farms, Crone Farms, Buick Trucking, and Swift Springs, all sponsors for Chad Simpson's number 25, the 18X of Michael Page out of Douglasville, Georgia, scheduled to join him in the set, and indeed he will. The Ridgeco Racing, Baird Motorsports, ML Masonry, Cove to Coast Marine, Southern Ridge Home and Development, Fun Tool, J. Dickens Powered Rocket Chassis for Michael Page, and the 4G of Cody Evans out of Camden, Ohio. Performance Transport, Aces Place Dog Grooming, sign me up, Coach. Hensley Logistics and Slicker Graphics, and the Vic Hill Rocket XR1 for Cody Evans. Struggling with the Evans name. Want to call it Cody Overton. What's up?
It happens sometimes.
It does happen.
15th quick the first time around for Chad Simpson. His second lap time will stay the same. 1.5766 is his best lap. Michael Page was 19th on his first lap. Will be 20th, 1.5994 his best lap time. And Cody Evans will be 23rd, 1.6214 is his best lap. So 27 drivers have now attempted a lap. McDowell, O'Neal, Smith, still the top 3.
Up next out of Benton, Kentucky, it's Tanner English in the 96, the 15K of Will Harrington out of Hawkinsville, Georgia, and the 11A of Alan Stick out of Americus, Georgia. That's your next 3 qualifiers. Tanner English, 2-time Mars champion, the Coleman Farms Racing, Autism Awareness, MPM Marketing, C Motors, Dirt King Simulator, Supreme Enterprises, the Clements Powered Longhorn for Tanner English. And the 15K behind him, it will be Will Harrington, the Clements Powered Rocket XR1. 2 wins on the year for that driver, the All About Doors, Watermelon Park, 5M Construction, Jerry Siding and Roofing, Haywood Marine Construction, 15K for Will Harrington. And the 11A of Allen Stick, and car number 11 making his return to Eldora, the Custom Performance, Customs Collision Center, Simply Elegant Landscaping, Vic Hill Powered Longhorn for Allen Stick and car 11.
First lap time is going to go up for Tanner English, and it's a good one, Ben. 6th quick, 1.5.451. Will Harrington goes 22nd his first time around. Remember, Allen Stick qualified well the Dirt Late Model Dream last year. His first lap time in this one tonight, 24th, 16.073. And Tanner English to second quick, 1.5382. Great lap. Will Harrington to 15th, 1.5695. And here comes Alan Stick. His second lap time will be 24th, best lap 16.052. Tanner English second quick, ladies and gentlemen, a 1.5382, trailing only Dale McDowell, who still holds the time to beat at a 1.5.230 after 30 cars.
Up next out of Mount Holly, North Carolina, the 22 of Chris Ferguson, the Spartan Transportation, Live Oak Aesthetic and Family Dentistry, Patriot Meat Processing, Spartan Transportation, Schaefer's Racing Oil, Clements Powered Stinger race car for Chris Ferguson. Meanwhile, in cart 25, Shane Clinton out of Zebulon, Georgia, the Super K Express, M&S Concrete, Carolina Concrete Finishers, Freeman Plumbing, Base Fuels, Penske, all sponsors for Shane Clinton's 25C. And the 13 of Dylan Thornton, rookie here at Eldora, Thorcut, California driver, and the Duval Electric, Drake Excavating Aggregates, Pee Wee's Record Service, Hawk Farms, number 13, a 9-time winner this year. It's Dylan Thornton.
Chris Ferguson, like he hadn't missed a beat, been 9th quick on lap number 1. Shane Clinton goes 28th quick his first time around, and Dylan Thornton goes 24th fastest on lap number 1. Lap 2 for Chris Ferguson, not as good, 1.5508. He's still 9th quick. Second lap time for Shane Clinton, a former Dirt Late Model Dream winner, a little better, 17th, 1.5709. Dilly's second lap time, also better, 16th quick, 1.5.655. So we've now had 33 drivers attempt a lap in Group B. Dale McDowell, Tanner English, Hudson O'Neal are your top 3.
Up next out of the Arizona. Where does he live in now? Where's the new house at for Ricky Thornton Jr.?
Indianola, Iowa.
That's right, Indianola, Iowa.
Name
Ricky
off all the
Thornton Jr.
hometown.
Brand new home. Congrats to him and Shay. Kohler Motorsports, Ultimate Towing and Recovery, Hoker Trucking, Coleman Farms Racing, Knights Companies, Elite Ready Mix, all sponsors for Ricky Thornton Jr., defending series champion and defending Lucas Oil champion. 13 wins on the year for that driver. The C4 of Freddie Carpenter out of Parkersburg, West Virginia. The Burwell Motorsports, Gates Trucking, Bates Farms, Virginia Driveline and Differential, Mullins Powered Kryptonite race car, and the 2 of Cody Overton out of Thompson, Georgia. The SM2 Motorsports, Shaw Trucking, Budweiser, Big Dog Stump and Tree, Supply Chain Management, and Morley sponsored entry for Cody Overton. 3 wins this year for that driver.
Ricky Thornton Jr. 4th quick, Ben. Fast Freddy is 31st, and Cody Overton is 27th. See what RTJ has on lap number 2. It's not as good. He'll stay 4th quick, 15.426. Fast Freddie Carpenter, his second lap time's a hair better, 30th, 16052. And Cody Overton will jump up to 12th fastest, 15558. So RTJ is the fastest in that trio. He's 4th quick in Group B. Hudson O'Neal is 3rd. Tanner English is 2nd. They're all still gunning for Dale McDowell with a handful of drivers remaining in his lap. 1.5230.
Up next, FloRacing Night in America point leader, current World of Outlaw point leader. It's Bobby Pierce, the smooth operator in the 32 out of Oakwood, Illinois. The Low Voltage Solutions, Rio Grande Waste Services, Mesquite Valley Transportation, Churchill Transport, Collins Brothers Towing, Fast One Speed Shop, 32, 16 wins on the year for that competitor. And the 32S behind him, Chris Simpson out of Oxford, Iowa. Welcome back to Eldora Speedway. The Hoker Trucking, C&J Trucking, Randy Davidson Trucking, Superior Cleaning Service, Essex, Jarrett Logistics Trucking, 32S. And the 19R of Ryan Gustin, Dustin's 3rd favorite, Gustin. The J. Dickens Powered Infinity Race Car, Allen Seamless Gutters, Hoker Trucking, Carl Chevrolet, Bill Stein Performance Bodies, all sponsors for Ryan Gustin, currently 3rd in Outlaw points.
Bobby Pierce, 3rd quick, Ben.
Uh-oh.
Chris Simpson, 29th. Ryan Gustin, 33rd. Lap 2 for Bobby Pierce. The 1995 throwback. It's a better lap, but not good enough. 3rd quick, 1.5389. Chris Simpson jumps up to 22nd. His best lap, a 1.5727. And Ryan Gustin, he looked a little uncomfortable out there, I noticed, to the Reaper on his laps. He is going to be 28th, 1.5890 for the Marshalltown, Iowa driver. So Bobby Pierce goes to 3rd after his lap. Tanner English is 2nd. Dale McDowell still the time to beat with 3 cars remaining.
Your last 3 are going to look like this. Carson Brown out of New London, North Carolina. The Pay Cafe, EBB Logistics, GBS Brand Connect, Bill Stein Sunoco, Vic Hill Powered Longhorn for Carson Brown. 2 wins this year, both in the asphalt late model at New Smyrna. Joined by Michael Leach in the 09 out of Sun River, Montana. The Dust Pods, Bill Stein Longhorn Dynamics, Willow Ranch Wagyu, and Hellraiser Jack 09. And the 81F of Jaden Frame coming to us out of Deckard, Tennessee. The Riggs Fiber, Best One Tire of Harrisburg, Illinois. Dude Wipes, Trione Flat, and Box Trucks entry for Jaden Frame in the 81F.
Carson Brown goes 30th quick on lap number 1. Michael Leach is 38th quick on his first lap time. And Jayden Frame's first lap is going to be 32nd. Lap 2, Carson Brown, 29th quick. His best lap, 1:5.929. Here comes Michael Leach. His best lap, 27th quick, 1:5.852. And Jayden Frame will wheel the Riggs Fiber entry off corner number 4 down to the 33rd. Best lap, 1:6.018 is his best lap time. And that is unofficially a wrap on Sunoco Race Fuels time trials here this evening. In Group B, it was Mac Daddy Dale McDowell, the 59-year-old. The ageless wonder. Ben, 1:5.230. Tanner English second quick. Bobby Pierce third. As long as those times hold up, those 3 drivers will start on the pole of heat races 4, 5, and 6. They'll be joined alongside by Hudson O'Neal, Ricky Thornton Jr., and Austin Smith. James Essex has caught up with your quick qualifier in Group B.
Well, since you're quick qualifier in Group B, you got to run tonight. You can't come upstairs and visit with us tonight, but congratulations. Good run, Dale McDowell.
Thank you so much. All the credit goes to Shane and Landon and the boys, everybody, getting the car ready, and really the motor, Clements a fresh motor, and so it's faster than this old guy wants to run, I tell you sometimes, but it'll slow down here in a little while. We just got to keep it balanced and try to get through these heat races, and a lot of tough competition. Great show, going to be a great show for the race fans. I saw Tony standing up on the deal down there and saw him running around on the four-wheeler, so we guarantee we're going to get some track changes and some track adjustments, but
so I think if you win heat 4, you're on the outside front row, right?
I don't know how they do it for sure.
Okay, we'll put you back to 20th then, if that's where you'd rather be.
Well, sometimes, no, not on those long races, James. Or on the short races, excuse me. The long races, I got to be back there in the back, it seems like, to go forward. But hopefully these short ones, we can get up front and stay there.
Mike Reese has come on board the last couple of months, Reese Monument Company. Thank all your great sponsors.
We got a ton of them. Klotz and Cometic and all those guys. Benetton, BSI Well Service, and BlackRock. Bathmasters, CSA Connect Strategy Advisors, Jeep Man, Jeep Van Warmer, Northeastern Fabrication, and S&H Systems on the back, Campbell Insulation, M&S Motors, just everybody. I know I'm forgetting some. Fox Shocks and Quality Heat and Air. Just everybody that's on this thing. I know we ain't raced but 7 races this year, so I gotta practice. But just everybody that's on here, I appreciate them. I appreciate all the race fans. I'm having fun. So as long as we can keep this thing up front, we'll keep plugging at it.
You do know we're doing a full field invert tonight, right?
That's just my luck.
All right, good luck tonight. Dale McDowell, your fast qualifier in Group B here tonight, guys.
All right, James Essex with the longest interview ever. We're going to step aside for a quick set of commercial breaks. Studio show when we return. FloRacing Night in America presented by Kubota.
Welcome back to our infield studios at Eldora Speedway. Randy Weaver alongside Michael Rigsby back on FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota Genuine Parts. Randy, 84 super late models have qualified, have hot lapped. Some interesting things. We're going to get to the results in a second, but first impressions after those 80-plus cars qualified.
Well, definitely the racetrack is going to be really racy tonight. And like they mentioned, Tony's walking around here, so he'll do something to the track probably. But, Dale McDowell, we just hit on him there for a minute in the pre-show, and, he set quick time in his group, and it was right around the bottom like he likes, and if it stays that way for a while, they're going to be in trouble.
59-year-old Dale McDowell, who has only raced 7 times this year, sets fast time in his group. The man will be 100 years old racing at Eldora. I'm convinced of it. Let's take a look at the top 10 first in Group A qualifying tonight for FloRacing Night in America, round number 5 at Eldora. Carson Ferguson, fast time at a 15.147. Garrett Alberson, the guy who's really come on this year. Brandon Overton, of course, I think this is total, actually, because Dale McDowell, I believe, was in group number 2 there. Yep. Chris Madden, Dome, Josh Rice, who I interviewed earlier today, Mike Marlar, Devin Moran, and Dalton Wilson. Dalton Wilson could use a good run this weekend, Randy.
Yeah, he struggled a little bit here the last couple of months and had all kinds of speed at the first of the year, but just a long, grueling year. They'll get it turned around, and he's definitely got enough talent. He just needs to get to speed back, and this will be the perfect night to do it.
Boy, Carson Ferguson, the kid's been in some big races. He's shown out a little bit, but this will be the biggest win of his career tonight, I think, right, if he can put this together.
Absolutely, and, they're that type that has had speed. He's run really well here from his very first time here, and it just fits him, and they got really good equipment, and I look to see Carson stay up front tonight.
We've got some interesting guys there up on top that I think will make this thing. Of course, Bobby Pierce up there. JD did hit the wall, that right rear spoiler. So Davenport, the king of Eldora, will have a little bit of work to do. Well, it's been a crazy busy time on the FloRacing platform. There's been no shortage of moments so far this year. Tonight, let's take a look at our top moments of this past week on FloRacing. Randy, I think you're going to like this one, a short track super series, at the action track. Look, this thing is a 5th mile right here, but maybe a 5th mile, might be a 6th mile. Coming down to the white flag lap right here, Mike Goulart led most of the way until Matt Shepard made his move off turn 4 when Goulart gets pinned up in lap traffic. He gets the win at the stripe. Big block modifieds aren't exactly known for racing on Macon-sized racetracks. Would you put your car on a racetrack? It is an awesome micro track. Would you put your super late model on a track that small, Randy?
Probably depends on who was driving it, but if I was, probably not. But yeah, some of these little racetracks can put on some really good races.
Yeah, and I felt bad for Goulart. Like I said, led most of the way and got hemmed up by that lap car right here at the end, had nowhere to go. And super Matt Shepard comes home with a victory, as you see at the stripe right there. More moments from last week, and this is the one, I actually thought we were going first with this one. This is the one I thought you were really going to like. Father-son duo, Randy.
Oh, wow.
This is what I think you'll really like. Cars Tour West at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway on May 31st. This is Kevin here in the red 29, okay? So obviously it's the racetrack that he owns now. Coming to 5 laps to go. Kevin has the lead. Randy headed into turn 1 until he does not have the lead. Absolutely punted between turns 1 and 2 right here. Gets stuffed in the outside fence. So it's bad enough for Kevin, right, that he's not going to win this race with 5 to go because he gets stuffed. Who does win the race? His 12-year-old son, Keelan, wins the race. You have a son, obviously, Cameron, that you've raced with. How cool of a moment would this have been for you and Cameron?
Oh, it'd been really cool. And, he outran me in that JT Kerr Memorial race for 10,000 a few years ago. And I still hadn't lived that down. But like I told you before, that was the first time I ever run second and was fist pumping. So that's a neat deal.
What a punt, though, right? He absolutely got punted right there.
Yeah, that was
Kevin.
bad.
And finally, I hate to call this a moment of the week because I feel bad for my guys Brady Bacon and CJ Leary at Knoxville. Mountain Wing Sprint Cars at Knoxville, Randy, hang on. That's all I can say. Leary and Bacon, the double tumble headed into turn 3 at Knoxville. Would Randy Weaver have ever been, and I'm just going to say it, brave enough to get in a non-wing sprint car at Knoxville?
I might have been young enough and dumb enough at one time, but it's been a long time ago.
That's just when you get air at Knoxville, some of the worst wrecks I've seen in my life are that big, giant. This place is fast. Knoxville's its own animal, though, isn't it?
Absolutely, and it's amazing what races they put on there and what the late models do out there.
Bacon and Leary, I don't think any love lost that night. That were the moments of the week. last week on FloRacing. Final commercial break on tap. When we come back, opening ceremonies from FloRacing Night in America at Eldora Speedway.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Eldora Speedway, Castro FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we will get started with opening ceremonies here at Eldora Speedway. At this time, I'd like to introduce the Miss Eldoras, Abby and Savannah. Well, I tell you what, guys, it's going to be a busy week here at Eldora Speedway. Tell the fine folks what you're up to this week.
First of all, welcome back. We're super excited. We're going to be doing a lot of our usual things. We'll be throughout the campgrounds. We're going to be at the silo, the brand new Busch Light can on Friday. And then we have our usual autograph session Saturday too.
And if you want to follow along as we go around the track, go down Vendor Row, all the things, you can follow us at Eldora Speedway across all social media platforms.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a nice round of applause for Miss Eldora, Abby and Savannah. Thank you very much, ladies. And at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'd ask you all to please rise. If you would, remove your caps, as tonight's invocation will be presented by Mr. Mike Unger. Mike.
First of all, I'd like to hear a cheer for God bringing the sun out for us this evening. Let us pray. Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this beautiful weather. We thank you for summertime. And Lord, we especially thank you for Eldora Speedway. Thank you for Tony and Levi and all the staff here bringing on this show. And Lord, we especially thank the first responders and the men and women who have fought to give us the freedom to be here doing what we love to do, and the men and women that are still fighting to do that. So Lord, just be with them, give everybody a hedge of protection over them tonight, and as they leave here, go home or back to their campers, Lord, and we give you all the glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'd ask you to remain standing as we bring up performing our country's national anthem, Mrs. Finley Green. Finley? Wow, wow, wow. Eldora Speedway, how about it for Finley Green? What a performance. Man, that is an awesome way to start off the week here at Eldora Speedway. Castro, FloRacing, Night in America, presented by Kubota Eldora Speedway. Are you ready? Let's go racing, boys.
Well done, Mike Norris.
That was, man,
well done.
What a rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. That was gorgeous.
Amen to that.
Absolutely. Awesome. Norris did well on opening ceremonies. He didn't, the microphone didn't get knocked out of his hand by the violinist down there. Everything was good. He even gave an "Are you ready?" So I'll be collecting money on that later on tonight.
Well, again, I think Jonathan Davis from Korn did it before you did, but definitely.
Well,
I'll tell you what, we're firing cars up. It's Integra Shocks and Springs Heat Race 1. DJ, we have 6 heat races tonight for FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota. 10 laps apiece. The top 3 out of each heat race will go to the main event. No inversions here tonight, so the winner of this one is going to start on the pole tonight's 50-lapper. And how about your pole sitter tonight? Tonight's Sunoco Race Fuels Fast Qualifier out of Lincolnton, North Carolina. It's Carson Ferguson in the 93, and to his outside, a guy that knows a little bit about Eldora. Out of Great Court, South Carolina, the 44 of Chris Smokey Madden.
Row 2 on the inside, a winner here with us a couple years ago in Winfield, Tennessee. The Winfield Warrior, Mike Marler, and on his outside, out of New Berlin, Illinois, in the Rocket 1, Brandon Shepard.
Starting inside of row 3, it's T-Mac Timmy McCready out of Watertown, New York, 2-time winner of his year in the number 9, and to his outside, 1 win on the year out of Lawrenceburg, Indiana. It's racing Jason Jameson.
Montana Dudley going to start inside row 4. He calls Phoenix City, Alabama home. And on his outside, keep your eyes on the driver starting 8th. It's going to be Superman Jonathan Davenport, the Lance and Darla Landers 49.
Starting inside of row 5, out of Causeyville, Mississippi, Spencer Hughes in the 19M, and to his outside, the Headingley, Manitoba native, it's Ricky Weiss in the 7W.
Mike Spatola, the 3-time Fairbury champ, rolls from the inside of row 6. And on his outside, Seth Daniels out of Jackson, Ohio in the S21.
Your final 3 starters are going to look like this. Nebraska's Ben Sukup in the 07, to his outside, the 17 SR of Brody Smith out of Dade City, Florida. And Clayton Bryant scheduled to start on the back row out of Yoder, Indiana. Don't know that we're going to see Bryant in this one. So 14 cars, 10 laps, top 3 to the feature. This is the first of 6 heat races here tonight. And what a beautiful evening it's turned out to be. I think once the sun sets a little bit, that wind's going to die down as well. But it's been a warm day, it's been a dry day, and it has been a great way to start the day. And now, DJ, it's time for the heat races. This is the meat and potatoes of it. This is where we set the stage for the rest of the night.
Absolutely. Did just a very, very minimal little bit of work out there to the track. They scraped the walls as well, give them just about 1 full lap to go out there and make sure everything's okay. And we're going to line them up side by side, double file. And Ben, you called it. The winner of this one is going to start on the pole for tonight's 50-lap, $20,000 to win a main.
And if we see a Midwest Sheet Metal caution before the halfway mark of any prelim, we'll bring out the Deathridge Optician Choose Cone. And James Essex already has it down there. He's
ready, yes.
I can't
I
wait
love
for
that.
this. Well, DJ, lights are down on the Speedway. It's up to Ferguson and Madden, North Carolina and South Carolina. Border Wars here in Ohio. 10 laps the distance. Winner will start on the pole here tonight. Green flag's up, and we are underway.
Mike Marlar gets a good start as he immediately looks down to the inside of the 93. The 93, though, going to get a better run. Here comes Madden to the outside. Here comes Brandon Shepard. Top 3 advance in this one. Chris Smokey Madden going for the lead in turns 3 and 4. It's going to be Carson Ferguson leading lap 1.
Madden had a big head of steam out of 2 down the back straightaway. Ferguson holds the lead, though. Now Ferguson 5-car leads out in front over Madden. Meanwhile, Jamison did everything but leave the ballpark down in 1 and 2. And now we've got one around. That's going to be Ben Sukup, and we're going to have a Midwest Sheet Metal caution with 1 on the board, 9 to go, and that means we're going to see the Deathridge Opticians Choose Cone. We'll get them lined up. Essex is fired up. We can't even stop him. We got to get the lineup right first.
Oh, man.
This is fantastic. All right. So
look
at that. We got the Essex cone.
Well, not yet, Jay. Hang on. Not yet, James. Not yet.
What could
I
go
tell you
wrong?
what, guys. Talk about a kid on Christmas morning. Here you go.
All right, we'll get the lineup right. Hold on to it, James. As soon as we get the lineup, we're 1 down, 9 to go. And so the Deathridge Opticians Choose Cone in FloRacing Night in America presented by Kubota Action. The leader's all by himself on the restart high or low. You see the mash right rear side of that race car for the 12 of Jason Jamison. Second on back, though, they can choose high or low with the cone. Wherever they go, they're committed to that. They can't change their mind. And if 4 guys want to go to the bottom in a row, they can. If 4 guys want to go to the top, if they want to hold serve and do the opposite of the guy in front of them, we put the ball back in their court. James Essex has been talking 365 days about getting to do this. And as soon as Kelly Carlton tells us that we're ready, we are going to send him out there. And it looks like...
I wish James would have brought his microphone with him so he could do play-by-play while he was taking the choose cone out there on the racetrack. That would have been great.
I love this.
So the field getting lined up again. They're going to be single file first, and then it'll be the choose cone after that once they get the back end of the field straightened around. 1 lap is officially scored, so 9 laps remain again. Top 3. I know, James, it's coming. Don't worry, James, it's coming. I know, buddy. I know. All right, James, it's your time, buddy. It's your time to shine. Get that Deathridge Opticians. Let him hear you, Eldora Speedway.
What a legend. He's the GOAT. Now, James, you got to be out of the way before the car's back.
Farther. No, you got to put it out there farther. Okay.
No, he's fine.
No, I like the thought of him putting it out there farther.
Well, we're going to work our way up.
Okay.
Now, he does remember he has to go back and get it.
Yes, someone's got to get that choose cone, James.
So here's the Deathridge Opticians Choose Cone that will now become part of the National Dirt Late Model Hall of Fame because Essex put it on the front straightaway at Eldora. So again, Carson Ferguson's going to have nobody beside him.
Oh, boy, I thought Barney Craig was going to hit the cone in the piece drive.
All right now, everybody holding serve, doing opposite of what the person in front of them is doing, except for Davenport. He's going to follow Spencer Hughes to the bottom. Jason Jamison goes to the outside. Nobody would have bet against that in Vegas. Now Essex is he's gonna hustle out there. James, you got to go faster. We got to get the cone. We're going to take him around 1 more lap, and the Deathridge Opticians Choose Cone.
We could have sent him green that time.
I didn't know if he was
How
going to
about an Eldora for the one and only, the National Dirt Late Model Hall of Famer, James Essex?
The cone man. Choose Essex. That's what I see right there. Choose Essex. Please stay green cone.
I mean, Ajax couldn't wipe the smile off that face. That's outstanding.
We are going to get it off the track faster next time, though. I do have faith.
James, are you okay?
That's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
I have nothing. I have nothing after that.
All right. I love everything about that.
Oh, man, we like to have a good time. The caution lights have been turned off. The green flag's going to wave this time. Again, it's Carson Ferguson at the front of the field. Chris Madden chose the inside lane on this restart. Tim McCready chose the outside lane. Top 3 advance. 1 lap scored, 9 laps to go in Integra Shocks and Springs heat race number 1.
All right, we'll see what Carson Ferguson's got. It was Sunoco Race Fuel's fast qualifier tonight. He's back on the loud pedal out of turn 4. Integra Shocks and Springs heat race number 1 underway. Now now McCready comes after Madden. Side by side for second. Madden down low, McCready right through the middle. Tim McCready started fifth. He's up to second. DJ, the 9 car, on the move.
Yeah, again, we mentioned Tim McCready got those 2 World of Outlaws wins just a few weeks ago at Raceway 7 in Bedford. Been looking good in that XS Storage. Dave Warren Power Sports number 9. Now Chris Madden going to battle back down to the inside and reclaim that second spot. Doesn't become official till they get to the scoring loop, though. 3 laps going up on the scoreboard this time by. It's still Carson Ferguson out front by 1.2 seconds.
You know, we talked about Carson. He's had a good car this year. Luck has not been on his corner. We've seen him leading heat races and have some issues. Right now, he's looking good in this one as he stretches it out over the field this time by. 6 laps remain, 4 in the books, and Ferguson has set sail, and he's put a half a straightaway lead between him and Madden. Madden has pulled back away from McCready, and now McCready trying to keep that final transfer away from Mike Marlar.
Yeah, Mike Marlar is running a different line than the third place car of the 9 of Tim McCready. Marlar a little bit higher on corner entry as he tries to close in on Timmy McCready in the number 9 and pick up that final transfer spot. That battle happens off your screen. There it is, coming into your living room. Thank you, Lee Gates, and we are going to have a Midwest sheet metal caution as Ricky Weiss has trouble in the number 7.
So bad news for Weiss, also bad news for James Essex. We are halfway in this one. In prelims, we don't do the choose cone. So no Deathridge Opticians choose cone, as once we get to the halfway mark of any prelim, we don't. And right now, Carson Ferguson leads the way. McCready got a really good restart, DJ. Shot up into second, but Madden gets back around him. That's been an entertaining battle. Marlar back in the 4 spot. As a few Midwest sheet metal cautions in this one with 5 down, 5 to go.
I'm not one to give shout outs on the air, so I won't. This person will know who they are, though. I just got I got a note here. How fitting was it that James got to do the choose cone for a Swartz car?
Oh, my.
And it just, yeah. I mean, that. Thank you for that tidbit. You know who you are that sent that.
That is perfect. You can't get any better than that.
James,
I'm
that
doing
was
B-mains
fantastic.
from now on, by the way.
Scrambles? Because you asked
yeah,
for
I'm
scrambles.
doing scrambles, too. Yeah, that's...
Hey, guys, Ricky Weiss has got the helmet off, so it looks like his heat race is finished. So a tough break for the driver of the Derek Sandblasting G-Style Transport Sniper race car, as he is going to get help into his pit stall. Halfway home, Ben. 5 down, 5 to go as we go back to the last fully completed lap.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Ricky Weiss, tough start to the weekend for that driver. He's had some good runs here at Eldora. He was the 2019 track champion here. Tough start to the night, though. And Brody Smith.
Looks like a snowplow.
Man, you got to think, you got to be a little worried about that radiator possibly on that one. We'll keep an eye on that number 17. His first endeavor. Now, he and his brother Brendan are going to leave here and go run the full Summer Nationals. But right now, we'll head back down to the pit side.
As we get ready to go back to green, I'm hearing engine issues for the 7.
Oh, man, tough way to start the week. You hate to have them at any point. If you're going to have them, it's tonight before the points start tomorrow for the Dream. Meanwhile, DJ, green flags back out. Carson Ferguson pulls away from the field once again.
Man, that 93 car just looked really, really good on that restart, man. Let's not forget as they battle back there, second, third, fourth, and fifth, battling back there for just 2 transfer spots is only the top 3 transfer. And there's that line I was telling you about with Mikey Marlar, as he's running a little bit higher than those other guys down in 3 and 4, and now we'll do the same in 1 and 2.
Brandon Shepard joins that battle. He started 4th. He fell back early. Now he goes to battle on Marlar for the 4th spot. They're all trying to get to McCready. He's got the 3rd and final transfer, DJ, this time by. 7 down, 3 to go. And it continues to be Carson Ferguson, your leader over Madden, McCready, Marlar, and Shepard, your top 5.
And interestingly enough, Marlar has abandoned the high side of the speedway, so he'd been running the top side up until that last caution flag. Now he'll try to tiptoe around the top once again. Gets a good run off corner number 4. Closes back in a little bit on McCready. He'll look down to the inside. Battle for the final transfer on the right side of your screen. On the left side of your screen, Ben, they're coming around for the Barron's Performance 1 to go.
Or the Allgaier Performance, either one. Allgaier Performance,
Wrong
1
series.
to go.
Wrong
series, DJ.
series.
It's all good. Out of turn 2 down the back straightaway. What a dominant performance. Carson Ferguson, a 1.7 second advantage. Final time into turns 3 and 4. The Integra Shocks and Springs. Heat race number 1. Score it to North Carolina's Carson Ferguson.
Second spot's going to go to Chris Madden. Tim McCready is going to finish in the 3rd spot. We announced way too many races during the year. Marlar, Shep, Hughes, Dudley, Spatola, JD, and Seth Daniels, your top 10. So 3rd's going to go to Tim McCready. 2nd will go to Chris Madden. And your winner, he's going to start on the pole here tonight. out of Lincolnton, North Carolina, in the Paylor Motorsports, Hupaw Grading Company, Coltman Farms Racing, Spark Oil Company, Boone HVAC, Buddy's Wrecker Service, Solidify Concrete, Floor Solutions, Tribble Electric sponsored number 93. How about a round of applause for the 25-year-old? It's Carson Ferguson.
Carson Ferguson currently 9th in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Championship point standings. Up on the scales, hoping for a green light to be the first one into the show tonight. He's good to go. And we'll talk to the Lincoln and North Carolina driver. Showing a lot of speed here over the last couple of months in this Donna Gina Bratcher 93 car. Scott Baker, the crew chief on the car. Carson, good job. You're keeping the motor running. Do you have an issue? Is it overheating?
I don't know what you just said, but car's really good right there. We're a little snug and running a little warm right there, so we'll work on it, see if we can free it up a little bit for the feature. Got to thank Don and Gina for the awesome opportunity to drive this deal. They're putting all the parts in place that we need. Got to thank my crew, my girlfriend, McKenna and Gracie in the souvenir trailer. Got to say hey to everybody at home. Hopefully we can keep it up front. I want to dedicate the Heat Win to the Stewart family. They're a family real close to us, and they just lost a loved one. So shout out to them, shout out to the crew, and we'll see if we can put on a show tonight.
Carson Ferguson on the pole tonight here in Eldora, guys.
All right, so real quick, we're going to go through the lineup for K1 Race Gear Heat number 2. On the front row, it's Garrett Alberson, the 58, the 17 of Zach Dome.
It's going to be Devin Moran on the inside of row 2. On his outside, Tyler Erb.
Row 3, Drake Troutman and Mason Ziegler. Back in row 4 to be Ross Bells in the 11B and the 12R of Ryan Payne. Row 5, Jason Riggs in the 81, the 99 junior of Illinois, Frank Heckenus Jr. Row 6, Corey Waller out of Pennsylvania. Florida's Clay Harrison on the back row, scheduled to be Jerry Bowersock and the 95 and the 55 of Eli Johnson.
If everyone's able to answer the call, Ben, we'll have 14 cars running 10 laps. Again, the top 3 will race their way in. Winner starts 3rd here tonight. This is K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 2.
10 laps the distance, as DJ said. Top 3 move on, and off into 1 and 2. Devin Moran looks to the inside of Garrett Alberson. Alberson pulls away out of 2 down the back straightaway. Dome sits back in 3rd, but here comes Ziegler on the high side.
Mason Ziegler trying to go around the top like we saw Mike Marlar do in the last heat race. Here comes Turbo down on the bottom at the end of lap number 1. Ziggy in the final transfer. Turbo trying to join. Drake Troutman wants to throw his hat in the ring as well.
Down the back straightaway, Garrett Alberson's been good on the big track so far in 2025. He leads the way. 3 wins on the year. 2 of those came at Volusia. Devin Moran, also a winner in Volusia this year. Devin has won at a lot of places. 7 wins this year. Meanwhile, Ziegler slides high. That opens the door for Turbo.
Yeah, Ziegler slipped up ever so slightly getting into 1 that last time by, Ben, and that's going to allow the 0-1 of Tyler Erb to drive down to the inside. Oh, they make contact off corner number 4, and Mason Ziegler stays in that final transfer.
Hard-nosed racing at the Big E. Ziegler and Turbo going at it right behind them. Zach Dome watches that unfold, and he's hoping for maybe a little bit of help to get to that final transfer. But out front, Alberson, your leader. 4 laps down, 6 to go. He holds a 1.3 second advantage over Devin Moran.
Oh, Mason Ziegler got too high that time over in turn number 2. He and Turbo might have made contact again. They go wheel to wheel through turns 3 and 4. Turbo will clear him. Ziggy gonna try to drive back down under it. Here comes Zach Dome as well.
Oh man, Dome might be in the catbird seat as those two go at it. Dome goes to work on Ziegler. Here comes Tyler back to his outside. Meanwhile, off turn 4, 4 laps remain for Garrett Alberson. Devin Moran's not catching him, but he's not letting him slip away either. What a battle for 3rd on back.
I tell you what, Mason Ziegler's got a fast race car, but he's also got a handful, as you can see him wrestling that car in the corners. And this battle for the final transfer happens nearly a full straightaway behind Garrett Alberson and Devin Moran. They're coming across the line now, just 3 laps to go. Ziegler now somewhat comfortably in that last transfer spot.
I tell you what, Ziegler has worked the top side of the racetrack better than anybody early in these heat races as he pulls away from Turbo. Meanwhile, off of turn 4, 2 to go for Garrett Alberson as Eli Johnson off the pace. He'll pull to the inside, and I think we may get a Midwest Sheet Metal caution out of this one as, yeah, he's going to stop at the bottom of turn number 1, and we will have a 2-lap shootout In K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 2 as the Midwest Sheet Metal Caution flies on the Speedway. Florida's Eli Johnson draws that Midwest Sheet Metal Caution. And if you're Garrett Alberson and Devin Moran, you did not want to see that. Now, with just 2 laps to go, it will be a single file restart, but still, those two had broke away from a very spirited battle for third on back.
Yeah, they had almost a full straightaway advantage over Mason Ziegler and the others. Guys, down to you.
Yeah, we got a little drama unfolding underneath the 49 camp here. He said, didn't know if the motor was laying down or something was going on with the 49. As long as he has a provisional, he plans to go to the backup car here for the feature event.
Yeah, and he does have a provisional. Again, he would be second in line. Bobby Pierce, obviously our point leader. He hasn't run his heat race yet. Brian Shirley second in the points, not here tonight. Davenport would be in line for a provisional. So you could tell in that heat race something just was not right. I wasn't sure if maybe something was bent from his contact with the wall, but not what you expect out of JD when you come to Eldora.
You wouldn't expect it out of me either because I wouldn't be down there. But hey, you called it earlier. I mean, again, if something is going to happen to a driver, you never wish or want anything bad to happen to anyone. But if there's a night where something is going to happen for the driver, you'd want it to be tonight before we get into the heart of the 31st Dirt Late Model Dream here starting tomorrow.
Well, right now, talk about heart, a guy that has worked his way through the ranks. He leads the way in K1 Race Gear Heat 2. Garrett Alberson, the Ken and Beth Roberts Motorsports, number 58. But I tell you what, when you think of Eldora, you think of that last name of that guy in second, Devin Moran. And Devin wasn't catching Garrett, but Garrett wasn't getting away from him. And you got to wonder, DJ, back in third, if Ziegler maybe hated that Midwest Sheet Metal Caution worse than anybody because he got his feet under him and it broke away from, you see the damage on those race cars between he and Turbo. They had some hard-nosed racing.
They were throwing some haymakers at each other out there, and you're exactly right. Ziegler had stretched out to about a second and a half almost over Tyler Erb, but to your point, he was still 3 seconds back behind a Devin Moran as well. So that gap will be erased for everybody. Barney Craig, the multi-time Eldora Speedway Stock Car Track Champion in that Ford Raptor pace truck, he'll make the hard left-hand turn to the infield, and we're going to go back to green flag racing this time by with 2 laps remaining here in K1 Race Gear. Heat race number 2, Garrett Alberson, Devin Moran, Mason Ziegler, your top 3.
2 to go. Alberson leads the way. He started on the pole. Devin started back in third. Ziegler started 6th. He sits in the 3rd spot. Meanwhile, battle for the lead, battle for 3rd. Out of 2 down the back straightaway. They will race back to the All-Guy Performance. 1 to go. It's Alberson over Moran, and now Ziegler gets away from Turbo briefly.
And Troutman trying to get rolling on the high side as well. On the right side of your screen, All-Guy Performance, 1 to go. Alberson and Moran continuing to battle up front. Oh man, what a move by Troutman to work his way by Turbo into the 4th spot. Still 1 spot out of a transfer. Checkered flag in the air. The winner of K1 Race Gear Heat number 2 is going to be Garrett Alberson. Devin Moran second, and the final transfer will go to Mason Ziegler.
Troutman, Turbo, Dome, Bells, Riggs, Lawler, Heckeness, Harris, Payne, and Bowersock round out the finishers. But coming up in the 3rd and final transfer out of Pennsylvania, it'll be Mason Ziegler in the 25Z. Second, Ohio's Devin Moran. And your winner to New Mexico's Garrett Alberson, the Low Voltage Solutions, Romer Machine and Welding, Titan Racing Products, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Nutri-Nag Solutions, Bill's Sport Shop, Midwest Sheet Metal, Sunoco, Cheap Cars, Dickey's Doghouse, all sponsors on the Clements Power Longhorn for Ken and Beth Roberts Motorsports. And it is Garrett Alberson. He wins K1 Race Gear Heat 2, and we'll head down for the interview.
This is a brand new Longhorn, guys. This is not Fred, the one that got wrecked at Wheatland a couple of weeks ago. They did have it back from Longhorn, though, as a backup. So Garrett Alberson, 5th in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series points. And he will start inside of row number 2 here tonight at Eldora Speedway. Well, good to talk to you. I don't get to talk to you much anymore, do I? I don't get to talk to you much anymore. Good run, man. You'll start second inside row 2 here tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, super proud of the guys, man. We worked our butts off all week. We fixed the car we crashed, and this is a brand new car all in a week and about a quarter. So, man, hats off to Zach, Chase, and Travis, my wife Danny, Ken, everybody that's helped. Man, we just put a lot of work into it. We're proud of it.
All right, good luck tonight. He'll start again inside row number 2. So we've got 6 in the show, 3 more out of the next heat race, guys.
Thank you very much, James. As Buzzy Racing Products Heat 3 on the Speedway, we're going to roll them around like this. 10 laps the distance. Winner will start 5th, top 3 to the feature. And on the pole out of Evans, Georgia, it's Brandon Overton in the 76. And from Crittenden, Kentucky, Josh Rice in car 11R.
Row 2 on the inside out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. It's the big perm, Dalton Wilson in the 18D. And on his outside, out of Madison, Georgia, in the 10S, it's going to be Garrett Smith.
Row 3's Joseph Joyner out of Milton, Florida in the 10. And the 74X of Ethan Dotson out of Bakersfield, California.
Row number 4 on the inside out of Johnson City, Tennessee. In the Minen 83, that's going to be Jensen Ford on his outside. Out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, the 114 is going to be Evan Kohler. 5th row back on the inside, it's going to be Slim Shady Brendan Smith in the 17 SS. He's out of Dade City, Florida, and on his outside out of Ainsworth,
Wait, did you
Iowa.
say Slim Shady?
Yeah.
Like him and, no, he's the Slim Reaper.
No, that's his brother.
Oh, that's right. He is.
That's why he's double S. Yeah.
Yeah, it's questionable all the way around.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, Brendan Smith and Derek Stewart in row 5. Mark Whitener out of Middleburg, Florida, going to start on the inside of row 6. He'll be flanked by Morristown, Tennessee's Forrest Trent in the 101. And your final 2 starters, Ben, are scheduled to be Oakley Johns in the C6 and Tricky Tristan Chamberlain in the 20 TC.
All right, so Jonathan Davenport will be going to a backup car, and he will take a provisional here tonight. He will start 26th, possibly 25th, depending on if Pierce needs a provisional. But right now, it is Brandon Overton on the pole, the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series champion from 2024, and alongside Josh Rice. And Josh is off to a really good start to the year in car number 11. And he was a feature winner, his 6th win of the year at Brownstown Speedway last Saturday night with the Northern All-Stars.
Over a whale of a field of cars, by the way.
I mean, just fantastic. There was a lot of good fields last weekend, and it was a very bright time. Just for a very bright time right now for dirt late model racing. We hope that it can stay that way. We know this is an expensive sport, but it's cool to see so much talent, so many great fields in a lot of places.
We're about to lock in 3 more drivers here out of Buzzy Racing Products Heat Race number 3. 10 laps the distance. Brandon Overton on the pole. Josh Rice on the outside, and they will fire over in turn number 4. Green flag is out, and we're underway.
Yeah, and this was a hornet's nest off in turns 1 and 2 as Overton is going to see Rice creep to the outside. Can Overton get a run off the bottom of 2? Down the back straightaway. No, sir. Josh Rice to the lead. Brandon Overton back to 2nd. Meanwhile, in 3rd, Dalton Wilson's there, but Garrett Smith joins the party. Now Smith slips high out of turn number 4. Lap 1 to Josh Rice with Brandon Overton and Dalton Wilson in tow.
Yeah, man, and Rice slipped really high that time coming off corner number 4 as well. Battle is on for the final transfer as Garrett Smith gets a run down to the inside of Dalton Wilson. They'll go side by side momentarily into 3. Wilson going to slide high off corner number 4, but he's got the run down the front straightaway, and the big perm's able to hold the former dirt track world champion off for the time being.
Yeah, Wilson will pull away slightly for that 3rd spot down the back straightaway. Meanwhile, Rice and Overton running 2 distinctly different grooves. They'll work off of 2. You see it on the left side of your screen, the battle for the lead. Right side, the battle for the 3rd and final transfer. Rice leads the way over Overton. And now I tell you what, Dalton Wilson's found a little bit of speed, and he's starting to reel in your top 2 and pull away from Garrett Smith.
Yeah, Dalton Wilson been a little bit quicker the last couple laps than that lead duo. He actually just took 4/10 off the 76 of Brandon Overton the last time by. 4 laps in the book, 6 laps remaining, and Josh Rice by 0.6 of a second out front in this one. And to your point, Ben, Dalton Wilson on the right side of your screen right there, he's been able to put a little bit of a gap between himself and what's turning into a battle for 4th between Garrett Smith and Ethan Dotson.
Yeah, that battle's heating up right now. And look, if you can't get in here, that's tough, but you want a good starting spot for one of these Coltman Farms B mains later tonight, and that's what they're battling for back there for 4th. Meanwhile, working lap 6 of his 10-lap affair off of turn number 4, it is Josh Rice, your leader. 6 in the books, 4 laps remain, and Josh Rice now has a 1.09 second lead over Overton. Overton has got 1.2 seconds over Wilson, but Wilson has stretched out a 1.5 seconds over Garrett Smith as Garrett Smith and Ethan Dotson continue to battle. And you saw Dotson slide up the track there. That allows Garrett Smith to pull away, getting into the closing laps. And we got a spinner down in turn 1 and 2, and that will draw a Midwest Sheet Metal caution. Forrest Trent facing the wrong direction, and that was right in front of your leader.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. Nice job of heads-up driving there by Josh Rice to make sure he didn't careen into the side of the 101 of Forrest Trent. 7 laps scored, 3 laps remaining. So sorry, James, no Dethridge Opticians choose cone this time.
I think he made his point with that Deathridge Opticians.
Yeah, I'm good to go. I'm good to go for the rest of the year. But how about Josh Rice winning at Brownstown last week on the bottom? Lapped up to 6 cars last week, his first ever win at Brownstown. And he's retaking the Northern All-Star points lead over Devin Gilpin, who'll be racing here on Friday.
Josh Rice, 2-time defending series champion. And I tell you what, it's hard to believe that's Josh Rice's first win at Brownstown.
I know. He's been snake bit there, right? He's been close several times. He's had just a ton of good runs there. But the 2-time Northern All-Stars champ and former Ironman North Series champ as well. Josh Rice looking good in this one as Forrest Trent going to get the 101 pointed in the right direction. And we'll see if he is able to rejoin the field. That is, man, that is a wild-looking track this evening.
Well, there's like chasing the traction. There's some obvious, where it's slicked up, and it almost looks like a video game where like it's almost intentional, where you can see where the traction's at, and then you can also see where you're probably going to spin the tires. And that's why you see some of these guys going way up top to grab the cushion, and we've seen guys like Mason Ziegler make it work.
This could be the sign of an interesting weekend here this week. I'm going to be interested to talk to a few drivers later tonight and tomorrow to get their feel on this racetrack. First things first, though, Ben, Buzzy Racing Products heat race number 3 about to get back underway, and I guess that was not a completed lap, so go back to 6 laps scored, 4 laps remaining in this one, and Josh Rice leads him to the green.
Yeah, business is picking up from 4th on back. Your top 3 are creeping away, though, as Rice leads them out of 2 down the back straightaway. Overton in 2nd. 3rd is Wilson. Garrett Smith back in 4th, but 5th on back. My goodness, Ethan Dodson and those guys are going at it. Mark Whitener on the move in the 5 car.
Yeah, you got Florida violence down there as the 10 of Milton, Florida's Joseph Joyner just worked by Middleburg, Florida's Mark Whitener. Whitener on the right side of your screen. They're going to try to drive back down to the inside. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, Ben, Brandon Overton is not letting Josh Rice out of his crosshairs.
Now, right now, Rice has led the way, but as the race has gone on, you're right. Overton's got better and better. They're going to come back to the All-Guy Performance 1 to go. And also, don't sleep on that battle for the final transfer. Dalton Wilson's got it. Garrett Smith's made up some ground on him. 1 lap to settle the top 3.
All-Guy Performance 1 to go, as you said, and that's the battle for the lead on your screen. There's the battle for the final transfer on the right side as they head into 3 and 4, checkered flag in the air. Buzzy Racing Products heat race number 3 is going to go to Josh Rice. Brandon Overton 2nd, and Dalton Wilson will get that all-important 3rd and final transfer ahead of Garrett Smith, Ethan Dodson, Mark Whitener, Joseph Joyner, Derek Stewart, Tristan Chamberlain, and Jensen Ford.
Your 3rd and final transfer, North Carolina's Dalton Wilson in the 18. 2nd will go to Georgia's Brandon Overton in the 76. And your winner out of Critton in Kentucky, a 6-time winner this year. And then MC Tank Transport, Glenwood Electric, Sanasis Construction, Airmax Heating and Cooling, Rice Excavating and Plumbing, Chain Locker USA, Map It Right Engineering, Maxwell Trucking. All sponsors on the J. Dickens Power Rocket Chassis for Josh Rice. He'll head to Vasquez, and then he'll head down to talk to James Essex.
Well, Rick Jones is Team Sanasis. Of course, Josh's dad won the very first Sunoco American late model race here at Eldora in 1995. As Josh Rice clears the scales, we'll talk to him here, the Critton Kentucky driver. Coming off a strong field, 40 late models at Brownstown last week, got his first ever win there. Hey, you might as well just have me pit reporting or announcing the rest of the year, right?
I'll try to keep this one clean. I was a little excited at Brownstown, but I don't know if we had the best car there. I didn't feel very good. There's spots of traction everywhere, and where there's not traction, it's slick as can be. So I don't really know how to adjust for that. I'm definitely going to have to get to where I can turn better. I feel like I was struggling to keep it down on the racetrack, but this thing's been a hot rod, man. I just wanted to get it in the show, and now we're gonna go hero or zero and see if we can make it better. Just can't thank all my guys for working so hard and all my sponsors. See if we can keep it up front.
All right, he'll start 5th here tonight. The current Northern All-Star points leader, Josh Rice.
Well, how about for the outside front row here tonight? Ibach Springs heat race number 4. The lineup really fast on this one. Dale McDowell on the pole in the 17M out of Chickamauga, Georgia. To his outside, Martinsville, Indiana's Hudson O'Neill.
Zach Mitchell going to start inside row 2, and is outside the 16 is Tyler Bruning.
Row 3 will be Cody Overton out of Thompson, Georgia in the 2, and the 20 of Jimmy Owens out of Newport, Tennessee.
Dylan Thornton in the 13, Chris Simpson in the 32. Row 5 will be Dan Ebert and John Henderson. Row 6, Dustin Sorensen and Dennis Erb Jr., Jason Fager and Justin Cooper round out the field in row 7. 14 cars racing 10 laps in Ibach Springs Heat Race number 4. And as Ben said, the winner of this one starts on the outside front row of tonight's 50-lap main event.
And green flag is out off into turns 1 and 2. McDowell down low. Huddy's going to head up top. Who's going to be your leader out of 2 down the back straightaway? Huddy with a big head of steam, and he'll take the lead. Hudson O'Neal to the lead, our winner at Marshalltown Speedway back on May 13th. And he leads the way over Dale McDowell and Tyler Bruning, who sits in third.
And again, the winner of this one starts on the outside front row tonight. Hud would love nothing more than to start there in an attempt to be the first repeat winner of the season for FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota. McDowell right now in that second spot. Third is the 16 of Tyler Bruning.
Good battle for fourth right there. Zach Mitchell's got his hands full with Jimmy Owens. You see it on your screen right now, the battle for fourth. Only top 3 move on.
3 laps in the books this time by 7 laps to go. I know there's no ticker at the top of the screen. We'll do our best to keep you informed of positions and laps. It's Hudson O'Neal out front. Second is Dale McDowell. Third is Tyler Bruning. Zach Mitchell runs in fourth. That's the battle for fifth on your screen. The 20 of Jimmy Owens and the 2 of Cody Overton. 6 laps remaining in this one. 4 laps in the books.
Man, what a battle for third. Mitchell takes it away from Bruning as Zach Mitchell up to third. Tyler Bruning back to fourth. Overton in fifth. Hudson O'Neal checked out in this one. Huddy's been on fire here lately. 6 wins on the year. As we said, he won his last event with us. And he is driving away from Dale McDowell. Not a lot of people can say that here at Eldora, but that's what Huddy's doing. And the thing I noticed, DJ, he's using different grooves all over this surface. On your screen, though, you see the battle back there for fifth. Owens has got it. Cody Overton moves in on him. Top 4 getting stretched out around the speedway, and you see Hudson on the right side of your screen just driving away from this field.
Yeah, this thing's really starting to clean up in a couple different places. That's a great battle on that right side of your screen, Ben, for the 5th position. As Zach Mitchell worked by Tyler Bruning a few laps ago to get sole possession of third. Bruning's back to fourth, and now 3 laps to go. And trouble as Dylan Thornton slides to a stop coming off corner number 4 right into the entrance of the pit area. And that will bring out the Midwest Sheet Metal Caution with 7 laps scored, 3 laps remaining.
And we'll see what happened.
Rear end issues, guys. We got big problems, I believe, on the left rear.
Thank you, Mike. Yep. I appreciate that update. I think we're going to have a look at what happened as well in MD3 instant replay to see what happened for the California native. Right side of your screen, the 13. And yeah, man, that car just snapped. It seemed like it snapped around on him. And wow, you can't get much closer to hitting that opening without actually hitting that opening. So thank goodness he did not.
So they're going to go to work underneath that car. Man, I know that's a tough break for Dilly because he's been pretty quick here in his first ever time behind the wheel of a super late model at Eldora Speedway. 9-time winner this season, been running the SLMR Tour, the Malvern Bank late model series out there in Iowa and beyond. Our good buddy Anthony Ainsley and crew. But Dylan Thornton, normally in the 38T behind the wheel of that DRT Dirt Racing Technologies. Cody Summer number 13 here this weekend. The former Boone Super Nationals modified champion, stock car champion, guys.
They looked it over, and it looks like he's going to go back onto the speedway. I don't know, this, like you said, good observation. Thing just snapped around on him. They crawled underneath. They're going back to green.
All right, and actually he's going to make that turn back to his pit stall as they head down the front straightaway. 3 wide momentarily, and they're going to stack up nearly 3 wide for the second spot. Hudson O'Neal with an outstanding restart, leaving Dale McDowell, leaving Zach Mitchell, leaving Tyler Bruning, all to battle from second on back.
Yeah, it's been the All Huddy All the Time show here in heat number 4, presented by Ibach Springs, working down the back straightaway. And man, I tell you what, they're going to race back to 1 to go, and Huddy might have lapped the heat race if there was a few more in this one, because he is progressively pulling away. All-guy performance, 1 to go for Hudson O'Neal in Ibach Springs heat number 4.
A look on the right side of your screen at the Hornets nest of cars battling from about 4th or 5th on back, but this one is all Hudson O'Neal all the time. As the winner of Ibach Springs heat race number 4 is going to be Martinsville, Indiana's Hudson O'Neal. Second will go to Dale McDowell, and Zach Mitchell got into the wall on the final lap, but is able to hang on and grab that all-important final transfer spot. Zach Mitchell finishes 3rd. Chris Simpson was 4th. Unofficially 5th was Jimmy Owens, followed by Tyler Bruning, Cody Overton, Dustin Sorensen, Dan Ebert and Jason Feger rounding out your top 10. So third was Zach Mitchell, second was Dale McDowell, and your winner out of Martinsville, Indiana, he's going to start in the outside front row here tonight in the SSI Motorsports Professional Concrete Cutting and Drilling, Wheeler Metals, Merrill Bonding, Big River Steel, and Neil Salvage and Recycling, Dino One Incorporated, Westside Tractor Sales sponsor number 71. How about it for the new deal, Hudson O'Neal?
Again, having a stellar 2025 season, 18 top fives and 37 races. In 27 top 10s and 37 races with 6 wins. Of course, he's fourth in Lucas Oil late model points. You guys talked about $20,000 to win Marshalltown win. And of course, World 100. Hudson, you look pretty comfortable out there. How was the car?
Yeah, it was, I was pretty good. I had a lot of speed. I just lacked just a little bit of balance. Just kind of have to find a little bit, especially getting into 3 through them holes and a little bit of the rough getting into 1. So we can get all that figured out. I think we got a hot rod. We just got to get a little bit more comfortable and make a little bit less mistakes.
Well, guys, they keep talking about track conditions. We're going to see who can adjust the best, but Hudson O'Neal is going to start in the front row here tonight.
All right, Mike, thanks a lot. Poske's Performance Parts Heat Race number 5, pulling on the Speedway. Winner of this one starts 4th tonight. Here's your lineup out of Benton, Kentucky. It's going to be Tanner English starting on the pole in the Coltman Farms Racing 96. And on his outside, out of Chandler, Arizona, the 20RT, Ricky Thornton Jr.
Starting inside of row 2, Nick Hoffman out of Mooresville, North Carolina, the 9 into his outside. Chris Ferguson making Stinger race cars fantastic on the national scene. That's what he's trying to do tonight out of Mount Holly, North Carolina.
Row 3 on the inside, great qualifying effort for Justin Duty in the 15 on his outside. Out of Brandon, Florida, the 40B is Kyle Bronson.
Row 4 is Will Harrington out of Hawkinsville, Georgia in the 15K, and the 97 of Cade Dillard out of Roebling, Louisiana.
Max Blair going to start on the inside of row number 5. He's out of Centerville, Pennsylvania in the 1-1-1, and on his outside in the 19R out of Marshalltown, Iowa, the Reaper, Ryan Gustin.
Row 6 is Douglasville, Georgia's Michael Page in the 18X, and the 11A of Alan Stick out of Americus, Georgia.
And your final 2 starters are scheduled to be Cody Evans in the 4G and Rod Conley in the 71R. Once again, 14 cars. We'll go 10 laps. Again, the winner of this one will start 4th in tonight's main event. Tanner English trying to shake some of that bad luck that's been following him around this year. He is on the pole of this one, and on the outside, the defending Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion Ricky Thornton Jr. in the 20RT. Nick Hoffman's no stranger to victory lane here at Eldora. Several modified wins. As a matter of fact, one of the very first Elite Chassis modified wins came in the Fall Nationals here. Hoffman brought a car here that had just got done getting powder coated. It hadn't been painted yet. He picked up a Fall Nationals win here. I believe that was back in 2013, if my memory serves me correctly. And good to see Chris Ferguson back, Ben, there on the outside, as you'd mentioned, behind the wheel of that Stinger race car. A great qualifying effort for him. He'll start 4th. 3 of them are going to race their way into the show.
Yeah, I had a message come in asking me, is Stinger race car something new? No, that Stinger race car has been around for a while, and they've won a lot of races in the Southeast. Boy, it'd be big if they could have a good run at Eldora here tonight. As Tanner English, Ricky Thornton Jr. bring us to the green flag. We are underway, and Dave Poske Performance Heat Race number 5, top 3 to the feature. Winner starts 4th, and Thornton, gets the door slammed on him by the 96 car of Tanner English.
Well, you thought Ricky Thornton Jr. was going to try to find a way around right there, and he still may do so as English goes high coming off the corner, and he'll lead lap number 1. RTJ, though, trying to get a run down to the inside. Good battle behind them as Chris Ferguson peeks a nose underneath Nick Hoffman. That's a battle for the final transfer.
Oh, man, good stuff. And now Bronson's going to join the battle on the 40B. Bronson started back in 6th, trying to work his way into a transfer spot. Hoffman's got the final transfer, but he's got a lot of company right there with Chris Ferguson and Kyle Bronson. Meanwhile, Ricky Thornton Jr. chases through the tracks at Tanner English for the lead out of 2.
Boy, good racing once again here in Poske's Performance Parts Heat Race number 5. You see Kyle Bronson getting a run down to the inside of Chris Ferguson. He's going to take that 4th spot away. KB40 went out, looked to reel in Nick Hoffman, who holds sole possession of the final transfer.
You know, a second ago, Hoffman was in danger of losing that transfer. Now he's catching your top 2. And last time by, Tanner English caught a gnarly rut out of the top of 2. Turned that car sideways. We'll see if he's able to move around a little bit this time as he stretches it out over Ricky Thornton Thornton Jr. And now Thornton's got company as Hoffman looks to the inside of Thornton down the back straightaway. Thornton holds the second spot, but Nick's right there with him.
Yeah, RTJ going to battle back to the outside and reclaim that second spot momentarily. Hoffman with a good run to the inside. He'll clear the 20 RT, give Nick Hoffman that second spot. Ricky Thornton Jr. passes him back. A great battle behind your leader, Tanner English.
Right now, Lucas Oil and the Outlaws going at it from a second spot out front. The Outlaws lead the way with Tanner English. Tanner has had a tough past couple of months, mechanical issues, looking good in the 96. Just 4 laps to go, and as I say that, now Thornton closes in on him. I'm telling you, there's a fine line between 1 and 2, but between running it right and getting into the concrete, and it just about got English last time by.
Yeah, and it almost got Kyle Bronson that last time by as well, as the folks at home saw on the right side of the screen. KB got incredibly high down in turns 1 and 2.
Thornton's got a flat.
Trouble for RTJ. Ricky Thornton Jr., a flat tire, and that is going to cost him a transfer spot. Wow.
And you see him limping that car around. He went off in the corner, and that car just laid over on the right rear. He's going to head down to the pit area. Mike and James, he's heading your way. Ricky Thornton Jr. currently sits in the 4th spot in the point standing, defending champion, and he's got a lot of damage on that body from the right rear if it's gone flat. So we'll get an update down there from those guys momentarily as the Kohler Motorsports team goes to work. Kohler Row, if you will, down there. They've got 4 cars down there, and they're getting a new right rear tire on Ricky Thornton Jr.'s car. Oh, man, that tire absolutely disintegrated. You see up in turn number 2, there is going to be a search party sent out for that tire up there.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, the things you see on TV, tires everywhere. You get a piece of a tire.
Zach Frills, yeah, there's a lot there. And, man, that's a tough break as Thornton had a good run going, and he's down the hot pit. You see Zach Frills, he's going to look under the race car.
Yeah, Nick Hardy, Skylar Cooper on the crew for the current Lucas Oil points leader, sporting the Midwest Sheet Metal Orange spoiler, and maybe some braces there as well affected. As you've seen the tire, it's completely shredded.
I tell you what, Thornton right now, they're going to try to get back out there and get a few spots, but he's got a tough road in front of him, and if you're Thornton, you are rooting for Bobby Pierce in the next heat race to get in, because Thornton would be next in line. If Pierce gets in, he's next in line behind Davenport, who he knows taking a provisional. Thornton would at least have a chance to take a provisional here tonight to start in the 26th spot, James and Mike.
Well, who had Thornton and Davenport taking provisionals tonight? My goodness.
Hey, man, it's Eldora, guys. This field's tough. I mean, anything's possible. As you see the bracing down there, they're trying to break some of that loose. It has a lot of damage.
He's got to get the mud cover back on as well. So Ricky Thornton Jr. looking for his first crown jewel victory here at Eldora. Clinched the Lucas Oil title here last October in the Dirt Track World Championship. So the Kohler crew down here, Bobby Kohler and RTJ back underway, guys.
See Steve Francis down there as well, helping with tech
Chris
here.
Tilley?
Yes, Chris Tilley down there as well. Yeah, we got a who's who of folks helping out down there. Norris?
Yeah, real quick. I tell you what a Eldora giveth, Eldora taketh. One of the favorites coming in, of course, Jonathan Davenport, and now one of the best in the country, Ricky Thornton Jr. If I'm Bobby Pierce, I'm a little nervous coming into the next heat.
I have a feeling Bobby's not nervous, though. I just call it a...
I'm going to tell him you said that, Mike Norris.
Although Ricky Thornton Jr. told both of us today that neither one of us picked him on the video cast to win on Saturday, and he was going to prove us wrong.
He was not happy with us. RT wasn't, no.
Especially after you cut that tire down.
No.
All right, well, lights are down on the Speedway because we are past the halfway, just 3 laps to go. Will be a single file restart. And Dave Poski Performance Heat Race number 5. Tanner English has been in charge since the drop of the green from the pole, but Hoffman and now Kyle Bronson, who started 6th, sits in the final transfer spot, and Bronson's going to look to the inside of Hoffman. Oh, man, and Bronson will go up to 2nd. Hoffman climbs the hill. He's back to 3rd.
And Michael Page, meanwhile, at the back of the field, tried to time that restart. He may have timed it too good. We'll wait and see. We'll get an official ruling on that from Kelly Carlton. But back up at the front of the field, it's now Hoffman and KB40 in the final transfers, and Hoffman may not be done yet, Ben.
Down the back straightaway, they'll race back to the Allgaier Performance. 1 to go. Hoffman got a good restart, and now Bronson got a good restart as well in third, and Kyle Bronson trying to pick up another spot. 1 to go, the Allgaier Performance, 1 to go.
Nick Hoffman going to look down to the inside. You got a battle for the lead on the final lap here as English with a little better run down the back straightaway through turns 3 and 4. Hoffman's going to give it one more run. English slides way high at the stripe. Give it to Tanner English over Nick Hoffman and Kyle Bronson.
Chris Ferguson, Kate Dillard, Will Harrington, Ryan Gustin, Justin Duty, Max Blair, Michael Page, Cody Evans, Ricky Thornton Jr., Stick, and Conley head off to a B main.
So finishing third, it's going to be the 40B of Kyle Bronson. Second will go to the 9 of Nick Hoffman. And the winner of Hosky's Performance Parts Heat Race number 5 is going to be the driver out of Benton, Kentucky, in that Coltman Farms Racing Special Needs School of Gwinnett SRI Performance Bilstein Shock sponsored number 96. How about a round of applause for the 31-year-old Tanner English?
Well, thank you very much, guys. And I tell you what, talk about guys that, you know, just need a little shot in the arm. And, man, he's had a hot rod here tonight. He was the fastest car for quite a while in qualifying. Backs it up with a great heat race win. And it's been a while since he's been down here. There we go. And we'll talk to the 2-time Mars champion, of course, Father Terry. We'll talk about these great father-son drivers. Congratulations, Tanner. Get that helmet out of your way there. Tell you what, man, you got a big smile on your face. You got a good hot rod. How tricky is this racetrack here tonight?
It's pretty wild. I mean, you gotta charge this corner like you just don't even like life. So you gotta charge it real hard on the bottom and then drift up, hit it on coming off. But can't say enough about this car. You know, it's nice to be. It's crazy when you get in some equipment that all these other guys have been in for 10 years. So it's pretty wild what you can do. So it's awesome. I can't thank Brett enough for this brand new car, brand new motor, and let's get it on.
This young man from Kentucky is confident. How about it for Tanner English?
Charge into turn 1 like I don't like life. Man, that was aggressive. All right, here we go. MD3, heat race number 6. Real quick, your lineup. Bobby Pierce, current point leader on the pole. Austin Smith out of Georgia, outside front row.
Row 2 is going to be Trent Ivey in the 88 on his outside. The 114 is Jordan Kohler.
Row 3 will be Ashton Winger and Trey Mills.
Then it's going to be Shane Clanton and Chad Simpson in row 4, Michael Leach and Carson Brown in row 5, Jaden Frame and Fast Freddie Carpenter in row 6, and your final starters will be Jackson Heiss and Cale Green. This is MD3 heat race number 6. Winner of this one starts 6, 10 laps the distance. Top 3 race their way in.
Green flags up. Austin Smith heads way up top to get some momentum off into 1 and 2. Pierce down low. Pierce to the lead. Second, Ivy to the inside of Smith. Austin Smith to second. Trent Ivey back to third, side by side behind them for fourth on back.
The end of lap number 1, Bobby Pierce drifts a little bit high. Boy, Austin Smith looking good early in the going in this one, Ben, as he's able to keep pace with the 32. Trent Ivey continues his good runs here at Eldora. And look at young Jordan Kohler trying to get a run on the outside of Shane Clanton.
Yeah, Kohler's got some speed right now. He rides back in 5th. He works on the veteran Clanton. Out front, though, it's Pierce, your leader. 8 laps remain, 2 in the books. Pierce will now head to the top side down in 1 and 2. He'll diamond off the corner. We haven't seen that groove much yet tonight. And he'll pull away from Austin Smith out of 2 down the back straightaway. Meanwhile, how about the little head knocker? Trent Ivey looking good back in 3rd as Clanton's tried to get to him.
The Trent Ivey, man, has been pounding the cush here the last couple laps. Watch him. If he hits this right, he is going to get a monster run off corner number 2 down the back straightaway. Look at him. Close. Now pulls alongside in turns 3 and 4. This time by 6 in the books. 4 in the books, rather. 6 laps to go, and you've got a battle for second.
And it's going to be a slider off into 1 and 2. Ivey lets it drift all the way to the top out of 2. Smith, can he turn back down the hill and get to him? He cannot. Trent Ivey up to second. Third, now Austin Smith. Shane Clanton slowly catching his teammate. Just a couple of Capital House cars going at it for position number 3, and now Clanton has got his sights set on Austin Smith.
And Shane Clanton will drive down to the inside and work his way by Austin Smith. He'll make it official next time by at the scoring loop. Meanwhile, the front of the field, Bobby Pierce, a 1.4 second advantage over Trent Ivey. Ivey pedaling hard, trying to reel in your race leader, but he will put another 10th between himself and the 88.
Just 4 laps to go. Clanton to the 3rd and final transfer. Austin Smith, Ashton Winger, Jordan Kohler, Trey Mills, Chad Simpson, Jaden Frame, and Michael Leach round out your top 10.
This time by just 3 laps to go. Bobby Pierce remains out front. Meanwhile, your lead, well, I was going to say your lead 4 or 5 cars have all gone to the high side. Just as we say that, we are going to get a Midwest Sheet Metal caution flag as Fast Freddy Carpenter sits along the outside wall in turn number 3.
3 laps remaining, and the Midwest Sheet Metal caution on the Speedway in MD3 heat race number 6. Bobby Pierce, we've seen some guys running some interesting grooves here. We've seen Pierce enter high in 1, and then Diamond off the corner out of 2. And then we've seen Trent Ivey, as you talked about, get a monster run off the top of 2. So I think it's what we've heard all these drivers talking about, DJ. They're chasing traction here tonight, and the racetrack is really streaky. And when you hit it just right, man, you can make up a whole lot of ground.
And that's something that we don't typically see here at Eldora, right? And I think that you said it best earlier when you said when you look at this racetrack in places, it kind of looks like a video game in a way. You've got, you know, it almost looks like 4, 5, or 6 different grooves out there, guys.
Ben, you mentioned about the 32 car, of course, the Stars cars, Mooney Star and Larry Shaw, right? 1995, they ran, did they not run a good deal of Habit Tampa that year with that car, right?
They did. I mean, they bounced all over the place, and man, some serious flashbacks. James, I imagine you probably saw that car win a race or 2. James's speech.
Here comes Pierce.
James Essex, everybody. It's hump day fun with Essex. It's
Actually, he was driving the Marvin Burton car at Brownstown, the 97 Jackson 100, and he started in the back, and I think he got all the way to 2nd, and that's where the Here Comes Pierce started.
That's your Jackson 100 fun fact for the night as we're back underway in MD3 heat race number 6. Bobby Pierce, your leader. And I tell you what, we talked about Ivy running the top. He headed to the bottom that time through 1 and 2. Clanton now is going to find himself back in a battle with his teammate Austin Smith for the final transfer. And don't look now. Look at all the Georgia boys from 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Here comes the 12 of Ashton Winger.
Boy, you talk about flashbacks. Look at that 00 rolling around Eldora Speedway, man. That gives you flashbacks right there. Bobby Pierce has set sail in this one the last couple laps. He's coming around to the Allgaier Performance 1 to go. But man, they are side by side, and Austin Smith in the wall in 3 and 4, and Winger goes by to take 4th.
That's right, man. 1 mistake, that's tough. Meanwhile, battle for 2nd out of 2 down the back straightaway as Clanton is right there with Ivy, can't get there. You see on the right side of your screen, Ivy pulls away. DJ out of turn number 4. Checkered flag is out. Winner of MD3 Heat 6, Bobby Pierce. 2nd will go to Trent Ivy. 3rd to Shane Clanton. Ashton Winger on the outside looking in along with Trey Mills, Austin Smith, Jordan Kohler, Chad Simpson, Jaden Frame, Michael Leach, Carson Brown, and everybody else.
So finishing in the 3rd and final transfer spot, Shane Clanton. 2nd is going to go to Trent Ivy. And the winner of MD3 Performance Heat Race number 6 out of Oakwood, Illinois, in the Vic Hill-powered Longhorn, the Low Voltage Solutions, Churchill Transport, Collins Brothers Towing, Rio Grande Waste Services, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Carnegie Towing, Fast One Speed Shop, Toyota Danville sponsored. Number 32, how about it for the smooth operator, Bobby Pierce.
Thank you very much, guys. 16 wins in search of win number 17, your current point leader here on the FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota. And he just picked himself up $25,000 at LaSalle. Of course, he picked up that big Prater Classic win a year ago. Over World of Outlaw champion. Little overheating a bit. Bobby, I tell you what, you just keep rolling along. Come off 25K at LaSalle, you go for another $20,000 tonight. I'll ask you the same question. Is the track tricky tonight, or how did this 32 feel?
Yeah, it's a little tricky. It's got a little bit of a wave going into 1 on top, and then it's kind of got them like pack truck ruts on the bottom. So if you kind of hit the rut right, you're fast. But if you don't hit it right, then you hang there. So it's got a little bit of character. It's looking pretty good. So I think it'll be a good feature.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the smooth operator, bad news for the rest of the field's going to start up front here tonight. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, heat races are complete. When we come back, we'll have B mains and, of course, an exciting A main here tonight. You're watching FloRacing Night in America here at Eldora Speedway. We'll be back right here on Flo.